Welcome back to 10 Tenths Podcast. I am Robbie, and I am here with Adam. And we are back
Hello.
in the Kanga Motorsports studio with this big, gigantic freaking banner that James thought we needed.
And that's like folded down, right?
Yeah. So
it's way bigger.
He asked me what the ours was, and I was like, yeah, it's like 3 foot by 2 foot.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, roughly. And they were like,
if I were to guess, that's the numbers I would have given as well.
They're like $10 a piece.
Yeah.
And we got 3 of them, and I ended up shipping.
Oh, really?
I ended up sending 3 of them to.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah.
Virginia, I think. And so we're technically sponsoring an SCCA track day.
Oh,
somewhere.
Cool.
I think that's what they were using them for.
We did at least once.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with them. I might get them.
I'm
back.
not that worried about it.
They were cheap. But then I told him that. Then he sends me this, and it's 6 foot by 3 foot. It literally takes up the whole wall.
Damn it, James.
I had it up here completely as it was.
Yep.
And I took a step back and went, no, you're not taking up that much real estate. So I folded it in on itself so it just shows the logo. It's still like a solid 2 foot by 6.
It's striking.
It's good though.
I like it.
And it's not just on a black canvas. It's kind
of dark blue.
It's navy.
That's real. You're into that, I'm sure.
The navy?
Just the whole thing.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a lot of blue.
It might look better in my shop above my blue car.
Nah, it's got to stay here, man. It's the King of Motorsports studio.
We'll bring the off-angled 11 by 17 piece of paper back.
You really triggered some people there, Robbie.
Here, push that towards me a little bit.
The bottom of it?
Yep, just a little. Just like that. Yeah, that first place at Hallett. Yep. Yeah,
there we go. There we go.
Not
That's
level.
Better.
I'm going to make sure that the picture for not level. But
we should just like do that without telling people.
Just reach over.
No, like before the show starts, and like just do little stupid shit, and then see who notices it.
Oh yeah,
like every week.
Like have that move like an inch.
Have that be like a YouTube comment, like contest of some sort.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, whoever watches the YouTube channel gets a free shirt if they realize what we did to the wall that's different.
I was gonna go a sticker, but
we have extra shirts, I think.
Oh, Kanga Motorsports shirts?
We got one Kanga Motorsports, and then we got full clip, full tilt.
Oh, yeah.
The drift team.
Mike's,
yeah. So we got a couple of those, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot about those. I wear those all the time.
Yeah.
I like that shirt. It's quite comfy.
Yeah.
It fits me like a T-shirt should, Robbie.
So terribly.
So fantastically. It's not all up in my armpits and stuff. It's so good.
No, if you got a real nice soft shirt like this Petrobox shirt.
Hey, I'm wearing a Petrobox shirt too.
Me too.
Do you know what this one is?
It's hooker headers.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was like.
Come on,
I wasn't sure if that was like too muscle car-y for you.
No way, Jose.
This is a cool shirt. I'm super into this.
I like all their shirts.
I'm super into this one.
As of this, we'll get to it. But as of this weekend, I have more Petrobox shirts than I have any other shirt, including 10 Tenths Podcast shirts.
I think that's probably true for me as well.
Yep.
I was also thinking about it. I don't know that I buy T-shirts anymore.
I'll buy a couple. Sparingly. Like I bought the Speed Secret shirt. I bought Grid Life shirts. Everything else.
It's not that I won't. It's that I don't have to.
Yes.
People just give them to me.
Which is great.
I feel like...
And it helps when they're cool.
That's because we're influencers, Robbie.
We're big time. We are big time.
People recognized us in crowds, Robbie.
And stopped what they were doing. This weekend. Yeah, it's weird.
Twice. At least.
Per day, you mean?
I mean, per hour.
Not even Kevin Lawrence stopped to talk to us.
I know, right?
And he's famous. Like super famous.
I mean...
He's way more famous than us.
That's probably true, yeah.
He's on international television.
It's probably true, yeah. He's got a bigger following on Facebook and Instagram than we do.
Than we ever will, probably.
I don't know about that. Come on, Robbie. You got to have some faith.
I do have faith. I have faith that we'll both grow.
We just got to spend more money than he does.
God, we could totally do that. I mean, I'd be broke as a joke.
I already am.
You can spend.
I'm not gonna though.
No. But anyways, Kanga Motorsports Studio. Congratulations to James and his wife, who I'm also blanking on her name.
Oh no!
I was like, we got to remember his child's name.
So am I, Robbie. Damn it!
Totally
now
blank on
terrible.
his wife's names because we are selfish assholes.
No, we're just not good with names. We're terrible podcast hosts.
We were going to do something really nice, and we just fuck it all up.
We're just
welcome to 10 Tenths Podcast. We have good intentions and poor execution. Megan
with an H.
Meghan.
Yeah.
All right, James and Megan, congratulations to your newborn child.
Sequoia.
I was going to say Savannah. I knew that was wrong. Sequoia Chartres.
You're looking at me like, come on, man. Come on,
Help
man.
me.
I don't.
Help me.
I'm drowning you. I almost let you just drown, honestly.
This starts with an S. Sequoia.
Uh,
So we have an American-Australian baby.
yeah.
Yep.
Did she like automatically get dual citizenship?
No.
I wonder.
She's American.
I suppose she is.
She gets an American hat.
Even
We should
if,
send her that hat.
even if we deported James, she could stay.
She gets to stay.
She gets to stay.
Or does James get to stay now?
I don't think that's how that. I don't know how that works. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that we want to talk about it.
No, we don't. I don't know the rules. And
My grandparents might because they had to deal with it. But
Yeah. I was born here. I don't know the rules.
I was as well.
He works at NASA. I think he's okay.
Yeah.
They're not going to get rid of him.
And we can't send him home. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, where's he going to go? Britain?
Gross.
Isn't she from Britain?
I don't have any idea.
We should know all this. We've talked about it on the show with him.
We've never talked to her, though.
He's talked about her.
Well, yeah, but...
All right, whatever. This is like getting way personal about someone that's not even here. We're going to text.
James.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're
I have to delete this episode.
You're talking for 5 minutes about nothing. About me, though.
About what we talk about? We talk for 2 hours about nothing, Robbie. That's what they come here for.
That's fine. But anyways, but speaking of Kang Motorsports, on his website, it's way too late now. But if you are way late to the game on holiday gifts, he has an article about holiday gifts, or gift guide for racers. And he has everything from like the $30 stuff to like $500 stuff that we all could use. It's a good article.
Is Apex Pros on there?
Should be. I don't remember.
I assume it is.
I read it a few weeks ago when it came out. Because we're so far behind on literally everything. I read it the week we were going to talk about it. And then now I just have it up.
Man, we've just kind of been
everywhere.
Yeah, extra all over here lately.
Yep.
It's been an extra real mess.
Freaking December, man.
I got sick.
Yep.
Because we went to PRI.
I'm sick now after PRI.
Well, you're welcome, Robbie.
No, I'm going to blame everybody else, like touching hands, shaking babies, that stuff.
It's true. We did a lot of kissing hands and shaking babies.
Yep. So I did that. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But anyways, KangaMotorsports.com. He's awesome. I mean, that's it. What do you want from me?
So, Robbie.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Isn't that weird? For those that don't know, I'm going to pull up a picture. I am your DMVR SCCA 2019 Rookie of the Year.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's supposed to be for road racing, but for time trials.
Right.
So
yeah,
like we're like a group now.
Yeah. It's road racing. We're going to call it that.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Road Racer of the Year as a rookie.
Whoa.
So I actually got a plaque, and it's on the wall here.
I do think it's mildly funny that Rookie of the Year is also time trials director.
I did notice that too. That it's weird that I went from 0 to even in my air quote speech, because it make everyone do speeches.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Was not prepared for.
I was going to say, did you know that you were getting this? Did they drop this on you?
They called me a couple weeks before and asked what I wanted on it, and I had to keep it a secret because that's how much I don't trust anybody. I was like, I can't tell anybody. I can't tell anybody I'm getting this award because
That's
if I
fair.
do, I won't get it. Or like if I show up and it's like, it's a big joke.
Oh, I see. You were just.
I was worried. So
they wanted to know if you wanted Robert or Rob or Robbie.
Harlan wanted to know how to spell my name or like how I wanted my name on there.
Okay.
But
I gotcha.
yeah, so I go up to do it and they're like, speech. Not prepared. I do a podcast. Don't know how to do a speech.
We put more effort into this than they think we do. Probably.
I know, man.
We
is
also
serious.
put no effort into this at all, but
still more than
they
think.
probably think.
Yeah. This is way out of my comfort zone. I'm not a public speaker.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not a very
this
good
is
speaker.
not public speaking.
No, this is a conversation. We just
The
have
only
to have
time
mics.
we've done it has been as a group, which is way less nerve-wracking.
Yeah, we're a team. We were like a tripod. And you kick the leg out, we all fall down.
But we're standing
But
strong
here on the
still.
podcast, we are a ladder. No, that's 4.
We're a bipod.
We're a bipod.
Bipod. I like it.
Yeah, that's fine.
We can be an extension ladder.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like
yeah,
things-
but you need the pivot point against the wall. That's 3.
Damn it.
See how now we're not even this table. This table is our third leg. It's holding us together.
Yeah.
Yet keeping us apart.
There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't know how to put it together.
But anyway, so I get up and they hand me the award, and then they hand me a bag of rags as like a part of the gift. And like, Harlan also has like, first he hands shop towels, and he goes, this is so when you get more serious about this and you're going through rags, don't ruin the laundry. Then when you get used to it and your wife's used to it, you get these, and it's like a bag of like washable rags.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, now you can upgrade to these once you get to that point. And Jess is like, don't worry, we're already there.
Just do what my dad does. He's got a washer in the garage.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So it's garage hack. Gonna steal your segment here.
That's fine. We got nothing but time.
If you buy one of those like really old school washers, that's like a tub. It's like a tub, and then it's got a ringer on it. Instead of like being able to throw stuff in the dryer, they like ran it through the ringer and then put it on.
You're talking like vintage,
like fucking 40s,
antiques,
bro. Yeah,
like washboard stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad has one of those, and he'll just run them through there every once in a while, as you do.
Yeah.
And then, but like his chamois, you run it through that ringer, dude. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
I do live in the country.
I
should definitely have a ringer and a washboard.
It's a very handy. Like, well, no, it's not a washboard. It's a washing machine. I can have a washboard.
I know.
I mean, I suppose, but you like put your washboard like against your porch and make it look all old timey.
Yeah, it's
a country thing.
Hello.
That's what I'm saying.
Hello.
That's what I'm saying.
I could have a clothesline.
Why don't you have a clothesline?
I have a dryer.
It's just one more thing to mow around.
That's true. When a tree dies, I just
mow right over that.
Yeah,
shit.
it's done now.
Yeah,
we're not replanting.
No.
Trees go along the fence line.
Trees are
that's
just
it.
Trees are just really tall weeds.
That's true.
That's my experience with them.
Who's
They're equally as annoying.
Yeah, yours have been just the worst.
I have too many damn trees. I thought it was cool. It's not.
I don't mind my trees, but it helps that most of them are what's the word I'm looking for?
Evergreens?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, technically not evergreens, but you know what I mean.
They're
carnivorous. Carnivorous. That's a dinosaur.
Let's hope they're not carnivorous. That's
conifers.
Conifers.
They're conifers.
Yes.
Yes, they have needles.
And my trees are predominantly deciduous. God damn.
Big words. Big words on a small podcast.
Why do we know that?
Because we got an American education. I can't do my taxes and I can't do basic math, but we know deciduous and coniferous.
You're an engineer. You can do basic math.
No, I can do long math on a long piece of paper. Basic math in my head, terrible.
I'm still really bad with my multiplications of 6, 7, and 8.
I'm okay with those.
No, I'm really bad with it.
I'm okay with those. But yeah, no, I need like quick math in my head. Like, what's that? Give me a minute and a calculator. Like, seriously, dude, you're an engineer. Give me a differential equation. I'll solve that shit. I just can't do math in my head. Leave me alone.
Every once in a while, I have used Pythagorean's theorem at work, though.
Nice.
Occasionally, it comes in handy.
I was going to say that. I guess you're not doing electrical engineering, but yeah, they had to do like imaginary numbers, and that's weird to me. I struggled in electrical engineering.
No, if there's electricity traveling across what I'm doing, there's problems.
Oh yeah, true. True. But anyways, rookie of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even in my little speech, I was like, well, I actually kind of thought it was weird that I got rookie of the year because in my eyes, I've been doing this a while, but this was my first full year. So technically, yeah, I guess I'm the rookie.
Your rookie year.
So that counts. But yeah, so I'd only done a couple of track days before this year, and this year went from, and I even said this, 0 to 100, and now I'm your time trials director.
It's fine.
So that's cool.
It is cool. It's neat to be recognized.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I won a door prize, and I walk in there not realizing that there's like gift cards and all this other like, really nice shit on like the end of the table, and I just see a stack of like T-shirts and shop towels and frags and stuff, and I just go straight to there thinking, that's all we get.
Get a T-shirt, right?
All right, free shirt. And then Tara goes, you realize there's like way better stuff. You're one of the first ones getting drawn. You might want to look at this.
You want to look down here.
So then, luckily, GC Cooling had a gift certificate for $150. So the Z's getting fans.
Nice.
I'm pretty pumped about that.
They've worked well in the 240.
They're great. They're so good. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah. So it was a nice little cherry on top because I won the Rookie of the Year, and then also got a little gift card. So
that's cool.
I was the big winner apparently, and that's kind of cool to be recognized. I felt like I did okay for rookie. So
yeah.
Another fun fact: Z3's erection.
Yes.
While they didn't technically race in an SCCA event, the rules are the general rule of the trophies go to SCCA members.
Right.
So, and this trophy specifically is called the Winged Bitch, or Misfortune, if you will.
Heyo.
So this goes to the person or team that had the worst luck of the whole season.
You were not far off of it.
There was a legitimate argument over who that should go to. Granted, Z3 Resurrection, their team had a very tough year. They had roughly 3 cars total.
Yeah, but they didn't do it at SCCA events, which I feel like...
Well, they did one. Booney wrecked a Z3 at the autocross. Remember?
That's right.
So that's like 4 cars that they had troubles with, technically.
Shit, son.
So I guess 2 technical cars, multiple engines, multiple bodies, whatever. So that was kind of the not argument, but like the discussion of does all of the WRL stuff count? They're all DMVR members.
Yep.
But it didn't happen at a DMVR or SCCA event.
Yep.
It went to them anyways.
It's fine. Like it's I get how they deserve it. Absolutely.
They had a very, very steep hill to climb just to make it to the end of the season.
They had a tough year for sure. But it would have been really funny if you would have gotten Rookie of the Year and the Winged Bitch.
I absolutely would have had it not been for Booney and his team.
That might have been like a real distinction, Robbie.
To just walk away with like multiple trophies.
Well, no, I bet you'd be the first person to be rookie and...
I was told that, yes.
I mean, it's something to be proud of.
It shows perseverance. Yes. I went first event, I go into a wall. Yeah. Self-inflicted.
I mean... the wall was the wall. It happened. Whatever. Like it wasn't that big a deal. I think you maybe bought a headlight.
Yeah, it was a corner light. Yeah, and some body work later.
The engine probably would have sidelined most people's seasons.
Yeah, and I got pretty lucky that I was able to find Josh. Josh was willing to sell me a short block,
right? And
then I could get that swapped over in roughly 4 weeks. I probably could have done it a little faster if I needed to.
Yeah, but that's still like I don't think. Even with the deal, most people would have been like, well, this is kind of a season.
Yeah, to hell with it. Yeah. I'll deal with this later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. It probably would have been the smart financial move.
Some people aren't you, though, Robbie.
You know? Or they wouldn't have gone to the SEC Nationals the weekend before their wedding. It's whatever.
Yeah, but that's not misfortune.
No. It could have been, though.
That was fortune.
That was good times.
Yeah. You enjoyed yourself.
Uh-huh.
I'm still super jealous.
It was good times. You should go next year.
I hope to.
Yeah. So yeah, Rookie of the Year. Really close to getting Misfortune. Let's hope that I don't come ever that close again and that someone else always has more misfortune. I mean, it's racing, so you're always in contention for the worst season of your life. Or the best.
Could be both.
That's true.
So far for you.
This could have been my worst and best.
So far actually, they are. Rookie.
Yeah. It can only go up from here?
Or down.
Or wait.
You don't know. This might be your best year ever.
Oh, God. Let's hope not.
You may have just lived your best life, Robbie.
I peaked at 30 on my rookie season.
You peaked in your rookie season. A lot of NFL players do it too, Robbie.
That's true.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they make billions, but it's fine.
I cost money. That sucks.
So
but yeah, so that's my exciting news for the years.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got a trophy. I got a couple trophies.
Yeah, look at you. I still need to bring mine.
I know. I saved room over there for you.
Someday I'll remember, but probably not though.
You get that
present
for me.
I still have your mug. I'm sorry, Dallas.
It's okay. We'll get it.
Don't send things to me.
Yeah, so you can send it to me, I guess, next time.
Yeah. Before we do the opener, I have one quick thing, and then we'll go into the opener because it's a little more involved. So last week, driving to work, and I kind of noticed that my headlights were a little dimmer than normal, but I didn't really think anything of it. And then,
I mean, your eyes are so bad.
Well,
it could have been anything.
No, because it was one of those mornings where it was kind of raining, sleeting, snowing, freezing bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, maybe my headlights are just dirty from all the stuff getting kicked up. Like, because my windshield was all covered in nasty.
It doesn't take much to kind of deflect.
Yeah, and I was like,
light.
well, maybe, they're shitty 90s GM headlights to begin with. So, I really didn't think anything of it. But then when I got in to go home, it really did not want to start, and then it fired off finally, and the battery warning light was on, probably on my whole way to work, and I didn't notice it. I basically drive to work in a haze every morning because I'm so tired.
You vaguely remember how you got there.
Yeah. But turns out my alternator had died on me. Fine,
Great.
whatever, no big deal. The alternator's on the top. It's not a big deal.
It's not that hard.
No, not terrible.
Shouldn't be.
I'm real good at it now. First of all, same alternator that's on my S10, which is the 2.2, which I assume means that it's also the same alternator that's in all the Cavaliers and Sunfires.
Probably.
Same alternator that's in all the 4.3 liter Vortec Blazers.
Yep.
All the 4.3 liter Vortec Silverados. The same case alternator that's on all the LSs.
Yeah, I would imagine.
There's literally a billion of these things.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And a remanufactured one after core charge is still $134.
That's expensive.
They should be $3.
They should be a dime a dozen.
They should be $13.40, not $134.
Why are they so expensive?
Because they can be. What else am I going to do?
They got you.
You're not going to go to a junkyard and pull one off another vehicle.
And you're not going to order it off the internet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because you need it yesterday.
I need it now because I'm stuck at the work parking lot and I got to get home.
Right.
So, bullshit, first of all. Secondly, when it doesn't fucking work out of the box, it's even worse. So I put it on there.
Yep.
It didn't want to go in there. I finally got it to fit. It was a real tight fit in the brackets. I figured out a better way of doing it. There's these almost like they're spring-loaded spacers, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
On the brackets.
Yep.
But my truck's got 250,000 miles on it.
They don't spring very well
So
anymore.
they don't move at all. And so when I put the second alternator, the third alternator in there, I hit him with some PB blaster, and then I took a socket that was bigger than the and squeezed it with a pair of channel locks with the socket on one side.
Yep.
To see if I could get him to pull forward, and it was enough to get the alternator in there real easy.
Ah, perfect.
But so I bought a new alternator, got it fit in there after some messing around with it in my work parking lot in the dark, in the cold, freezing my ass off. Went to start the truck, not working.
This is the first one?
The first one, right. So I went through 2 hours of troubleshooting with the interwebs and Josh Fettis.
Yeah, it should be
Dude, it's
basically brand new.
It's got a four pin connector on it with one wire going into it.
Yep.
And a power wire.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there's nothing else to it.
There's nothing to it. But I troubleshot everything that could possibly be anything just to make sure that I didn't have something else going on with the truck.
Right.
And ultimately came to the decision that it had to be the alternator. Well, by then, the parts store was long fucking closed.
Yes.
So that was Thursday night before we're supposed to leave for PRI. We're supposed to leave at 5 a.m. the next morning.
Not only is it Thursday night before PRI, we were going to record a show.
We were supposed to record a show Thursday night. My girlfriend was real sick on Wednesday, and so I didn't want to record Wednesday night because I wanted to go home and take care of my kids so she could rest a while.
Yep.
And then Thursday we were going to record, and that didn't happen either.
It did not.
And I also... I was at 8 o'clock at night. I'm talking to you on the phone. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to go. I'm at the point where I don't feel comfortable just leaving. It's still my only vehicle because I still can't get the Focus to run right.
Right.
And so I don't want to leave my girlfriend and my child at home while I go to Indianapolis for 3 days and they don't even have a car. Like, I can't bring myself to do that.
No, you don't want to hang them out to dry.
That's a real dick move, and I'm not going to be that guy. Like, what if something happens, right? Like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, if Logan falls down the stairs and...
We don't have any stairs in my house. It's not rich enough for stairs,
you got steps into the driveway.
I have a step.
Exactly, one step to cement.
Well, they're not going to leave. They don't care. What's the point going outside? They can't leave.
You can play.
Not in the cold, Robbie. We live in winter.
Yeah, cold sucks.
He hates the cold.
But anyways.
So... I was like real on the fence about what I was even going to do. And ultimately, Katie's mom decided that she had some last minute shopping or whatever she had to do. And so she just came down Friday afternoon and went home Sunday. So it was fine. It was no big deal. I just used a work truck to get home. And then you pick me up from work the next day, all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Well, so I figure, we'll see what time we get home on Sunday. Maybe I'll be able to go pick up an alternator on Sunday afternoon, get it fixed, or else I'll just deal with it Monday again after work. Then I got sick at PRI because it's PRI.
Someone has to be sick.
Yeah, so I didn't touch it until Tuesday.
Yep.
But when I was taking the alternator out of it again, because I just washed my hands of it, right? I could have pulled that alternator off and then at least had it off. I was like, nope, this is this is future Adam's problem. So as I'm pulling it off, the stud that the power connector goes onto, the cable that goes straight to the battery, is in a position on in my Blazer where you can't get it. That's the last thing you take off.
Okay.
Because you can't get to it.
You got to get everything else out of the way.
Because there's other bracketry and bullshit behind it. So you got to get it out of its mount, get the belt off, get it out of its mount, take the 4-pin off, and then you can rotate it forward and you can take it off.
Okay, makes sense.
So it's the last thing you do, right?
Gotcha.
So I remember breaking it loose, but I didn't really remember taking it that far off. And then I stopped to put on my gloves or do something. I don't know. But I know that I stopped to do something and I came back to it and it was more loose than I remembered me taking it off. And I was like,
that's weird.
I didn't really. Well, so there's a lock washer on there, right?
Yep.
And what crossed my mind at first was, did I just finger tighten this down onto the lock washer and then never go at it with a wrench or a ratchet to tighten it all the way down?
And you've been troubleshooting
on Thursday night. I was like, I didn't do that, did I? I'm not that stupid, am I?
We've all had those moments.
But I'm like, so here I am. It's 10 or 15 minutes to put it all back together again. I was like, do I do that, or do I just take it into the parts store and say, hey, this thing's bad? Is it really bad though? Now I have this doubt in my mind. I'm like, well, fuck it, let's just put it back together. So I tightened it all the way down this time for sure. Put it all back together, no dice. Okay. So either I did tighten it down and I loosened it more than I remembered loosening it literally 30 seconds earlier, or I didn't tighten it down, but it was at least tight enough to make enough connection Thursday night to prove that it was still the alternator not working.
Right.
Either way, I had a bad alternator right out of the box. It's a refurbed one, but it's brand new to me.
It's been tested. I mean, it should
came
be
with a little
good
sheet
to
that
go.
says tested and good and all that crap.
Annoying.
Took it back in there. They swapped it out. It was no big deal. Put it on there. It took me 10 minutes, 15 minutes to put it back together. Fired it up. The light goes away. The voltage gauge pulls to 14. Best day of my fucking life.
Oh, that's a good feeling. Every time I go into a parts store with a battery,
yeah,
I have that same feeling. It's like,
I did something
They're
wrong?
going to tell me this battery's fine, and I'm going to look like a fucking idiot.
Well, okay, so when I was doing all that troubleshooting online, you Google 1999 Chevy Blazer 4.3 won't start.
Yeah.
Or doesn't charge, right?
Yeah,
You're just going through all these forum posts from 10 years ago, trying to figure out, glean any information out of all these other people's
common
posts.
fail points. Stuff
And
like
everybody's
that.
like, oh, I know that the parts stores tested the alternators, but those machines just look cool and seem fancy, but they can't be trusted. Just go in there and tell them you want another one.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well, that's what everybody said, so let's go and do it. Well, the Arnold's that I deal with that's down the street from the shop does not have any of that equipment in it. So I just walk in there, I'm like, yep, this thing doesn't work. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, as sure as I can be. I spent 2 hours troubleshooting everything else it could possibly be and came up with nothing. I'm like, all right, well, we'll grab you a new one.
That's customer service. I appreciate that.
So it wasn't that big a deal. Turns out they won't. So I have another one of those alternators because years ago, my S10.
You've had how many of these engines?
Well, the S10, the alternator that was on my S10 just like randomly died on the 4th of July Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
When I was in Okoboji, like in the Arnold's Park parking lot.
Oh, great.
And so my dad came with truck and trailer to like one of the busiest parking lots.
At least it's Labor Day, not 4th of July.
That would have been a shit show. But at like 10 o'clock at night, and we managed. Dad just like pulled into the lane and just like, well, fuck everybody until we get this truck loaded. You're just gonna have to deal with it, you know. And we got it loaded on there, took it home, and for some reason that I still to this day don't have an explanation, my dad just happened to have an alternator sitting on his shelf that was the right one, because probably 90% of the vehicles he's owned in the last 40 years uses the same fucking alternator, even though it's $134. So we swapped that. Well, I still have the one that went south on me because I figured, I'll just take it in for a core charge someday. So I was like, well, I have 2 of these that are bad, so you'll give me 2 core charges, right? They're like, no, it's not how that works. Like, damn it.
No, they don't. I've tried that with batteries too, because when I replaced the trailers, they had 2 wired in series or whatever. They're like 2 6-volt ones to make 12. They're really weird.
6-volt batteries?
It was 2 like weird small batteries.
But why?
They wired them together.
But why?
To equal 1 actual heavy duty battery. So then I brought it in, and I said, these were on my trailer. I don't want these back.
No, I want a car battery.
I want a deep cycle battery.
Yeah.
He goes, you want that one for $100 billion.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I do actually. So I get two charges on this, right? And of course I had to fucking check them because they don't trust me that these horrible looking batteries are bad. They're like, no, these can't be bad. No, seriously. They look like they don't have any fluid in them. They're that bad.
Right.
But then I'm like watching them test it going, they're going to tell me these are fine, and they're not going to give me a core charge on them. They're not going to let me buy them.
Right.
I don't know why I get such anxiety I
get it, dude.
I walk in there going, I don't want to disappoint you with my stupid mechanics. I know these are bad, but we'll just keep going with that train of thought. I'm the same way. Like I get random drug tested at work.
Okay.
But they don't tell you if you passed.
But you know you're going to pass.
I know I'm going to pass.
Right. But still.
It's no news is good news. You either get fired or you passed.
No.
But they don't tell you you passed.
Yeah.
So you get to sit and wait going, has it been long enough? They would have told me by now, right? I bet I passed.
I bet I passed. Robbie, they could use us as controls for whether or not the test is good.
But you still have that thought in your head. Like, what did I pick up some weird, like, was my food tainted? Did I have, like, weird medication? Did I
eat too many poppy seed muffins last weekend?
Did the Mexican antibiotics I took have weird potent things in them?
About that.
I mean, they don't test for that type of stuff, but was it tainted? Am I going to get a false failure?
Yeah.
So it's just that paranoia, like, I know I'm passing.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs. I don't even drink.
Right.
I'm gonna pass this test.
Right.
But I do the test and I walk away going, I hope I don't get fired. Like, there's no reason to think that.
Well, like the first time I ever took one, fresh out of college, when I started the job I got right out of college, you have to have one before you can even set foot on a job site.
Right.
That's just their rules. And then like 60% or what is it, 30% of your employees have to pass a random drug test once a month, and we only had like 6 employees, so it's basically you're taking one every other month.
Right.
It's essentially what it boils down to. But like the first one I ever took, I like strolled into this drug testing place, right? My boss just gave me an address and I just went in there and I'm here for a drug test, and they're like, okay, and the lady's like, you seem really relaxed, and I was like, I'm not going to fail this. And she goes, well, that's good.
I have nothing to worry about.
I think she was suspicious about how chill I was about this thing.
This guy knows he's going to pass. He's clearly
Which
on
means
drugs.
He's cheating.
He did an oil change.
Yeah, and then I think that I'm the fall guy for the place I work at now. Because every once in a while, I'll get, quote, random drug test, and then somebody else will, and they'll get fired.
Oh, jeez.
And I think that they make me, because I think
they know you're gonna pass.
I think literally they like went to the managers and they're like, we need somebody who's gonna pass so that we can test him and then test somebody else to fire him. so that they can't be like, oh, that was whatever that term would be.
Yeah.
You know, where they got singled out, or they're just looking for a reason to fire me.
Yeah, no, we randomed everybody.
Yeah, well,
you failed.
You were. I mean, he got tested, he passed. You didn't.
Yeah.
You're fired. I've taken 2 or 3 since I've started here.
In the 5 years I've been there, I've only taken 2.
Yeah,
I'm on the pool, so I mean, I could get tested
every
single day.
Every time I take a pee test, in the next 2 or 3 days, someone gets fired.
That's hilarious. We haven't had that has not been a problem for us in a very long time.
I think they figure out that somebody shows up to work a little weird, and they're like, "All right, this guy's
he
must be doing something."
Yeah. This guy's way too happy.
Yeah,
get out.
Yeah, and so then they test me, and then they must test somebody else, and that person always gets fired.
It's nice that we could be. We're lame.
I'm reliable.
We
Robbie.
don't do drugs. That's fine.
I'm reliable, Robbie.
We're like, if you want to talk about drugs, go to the Joe Rogan podcast. If you don't want to talk about drugs,
I don't care. It's just not my thing. Like I don't like not associate with people just because
do your drugs. I don't care. It's
just leave me out of it. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
seems reasonable.
Yeah, I don't like doing it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I went to college. I had my fun. I'm done.
I don't like Porsches, but like I'm friends with Porsche owners.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't like BMWs, but
we have lots of BMW friends.
I tolerate BMW owners. Sort of,
I guess. I mean, they don't invite us to a lot of things, but we go sometimes.
We just go anyway.
Yeah,
fuck it.
We can't follow them because like they're going to take a right and
yeah,
don't know. I won't miss the turn.
There's no way for them to warn me in advance, Robbie, and so I'll just keep going straight.
Oh shit!
Unless you tailgate him, and I don't.
No, you don't want to be too close.
Can't be that guy.
No. Speaking of guys that don't use their turn signal, Booney at factorfabrication.com. You can see him in that picture for watching the YouTube channel. He is checking the smoothness and just the finish on this perfectly done table. Obviously, he did not make this table that we're sitting in front of because this table sucks.
This table's antique.
And
it's antique. It's got character. You can't make this.
No.
Character.
The best part is it's just spray painted black to cover up the fact that it was a nice table like 50 years ago.
Booney would make a table like this.
Yeah, he could improve this and make this a very nice, expensive, fancy table.
That's fair.
But if you want a new or refurbished, I don't know, terms of construction, he can make it.
Is that where I'm supposed to start my opener then?
Yes.
Okay.
This opener is presented by Factor Fabrication.
We were going to talk about this last week until my alternator died. And so now it's been 2 weeks since I went to this, and since my memory's terrible,
that's fine.
It's going to be a little spotty, but it's fine.
I'm fine with that.
So a couple of weekends ago, I went with my dad to Kansas City, and we went to the Mecum auction that was there.
I've never been.
So I've been to a Barrett-Jackson before. I've been to the Barrett-Jackson before, I should say.
Arizona?
There's a handful of them, but the Barrett-Jackson's the one in Arizona. Tons of fun. Super cool. My dad's gone to this Mecum event a handful of times. And he tells me, his inside sources say that this one always seems to be a little under what the other ones go for price wise.
Yeah,
like if you have a car that sells for $50,000 at Mecum, Kansas City, if you would have taken it to the one in Florida, it probably would have gone for $60,000.
Okay, so if you're going to buy, Kansas City is where to go.
Right, but don't sell.
Don't sell.
Right.
Okay,
so it's a little tricky, but that is not 1010's top tip.
No,
I'm not going to claim that as being 100% factual.
I'll claim that.
My industry insiders have told me. So we went to this. It's a 3-day auction.
Okay.
We only went on Saturday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday is when they kind of sell the big ticket items, right?
Yeah.
And that's when they're like, it's the full TV thing in the whole 9 yards. Like there's like this crazy camera on a boom, and like the auction, like at the beginning when they start the auction, they play this like
Eye of the Tiger.
No, they play Thunderstruck.
God,
right?
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Because this is America, Robbie. And we got to play that to get people pumped.
So not only are they playing Thunderstruck, though, it's like strobe lights.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
so there's like,
and like,
strobe lights and like, and all the auctioneers with their microphones are like, thunder every time. And they're just like, fist pumping and the whole 9 yards, dude. They're trying to get you psyched.
They're getting it's all rise. It's
all rise
at Mecum.
Exactly.
It's all rise.
So that's a thing, man. But I think it works.
They do that at a lot of things. Like obviously sporting events.
Many things.
One place that they do it that I think is awesome, and by awesome I mean hilarious.
Okay.
Is the World Dairy Expo.
Nuh-uh.
When they start the show.
First of all, why do you know that?
My dad goes to the World Dairy Expo.
Okay, and then why do they do that?
You gotta get people pumped for the cows.
Do you?
Yes. No, I don't know. But anyways,
maybe we need to be at the opening ceremony for PRI.
I bet they do it there too. They have to.
I don't know, man, but it was wild. It was hilarious, and they got like stands all around, right? And,
because they have the auction or the handlers telling the auction.
Right. Well, so there's a bunch of chair seating up in the front, and I think that's supposed to mostly just be for people who actually have bidding.
Yeah, they're dead
tickets.
Serious. Yeah.
Right. And then if you're just there to look at cars and watch people spend way too damn much money on stuff, then you're supposed to be in the bleachers. So we were in the bleachers.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
I mean, you could buy from the bleachers if you wanted to.
I don't think that there was really much bidding going on from the bleachers.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
I think even if you were sitting in the bleachers, if a car came up that you were interested in, you got up and went down into the front where you're more likely to be seen.
It makes sense.
But so they give out this little show program. Actually, I think you have to buy the show program.
I bet it's $5.
I found it on a table.
Ah, boy.
So, but
does it have a price tag on the back?
I don't see any pricing.
They're usually $5.
I think that's safe to assume that nothing is free at the Mecum auction.
That's just true of life.
It's $20 pre-ticket to get in. $30 a day of the show.
Ooh.
It's way too many monies. My dad and I were talking about
hand
this.
over fist at these things.
Well, so here's the thing about it. I feel like if ticket prices were half as much, that twice as many people would come.
True.
But I think that's probably not a good thing.
No, because then you have a bunch of people that aren't going to buy. That are
right, and then it just turns into a shit show.
Right.
And really, at the end of the day, you want enough people to fill the stands that you've brought.
You want to look full for TV.
For the TV thing. Yep. But you want a majority of the people who are there to be serious about it. And even if you're not serious about purchasing, you're going to stop and think about spending $20 or $30 to walk in the front door.
You'll respect the process.
You're not going to get sideshow bullshit people walking in there you're not as likely.
Yeah. Yeah, people that are just going to kind of not take the whole thing seriously and cause a commotion.
It is kind of expensive. I do think it's probably worth the time.
Yeah.
Next year, they have a very, very easy press credential process on their website. I ain't paying for that shit twice.
No. We are serious media.
My dad says to me, he goes, "Why did you just get press tickets for this?" And I was like,
a little late now,
Dad. I don't even think about this stuff.
No.
Like, that's not in my head. But we could have.
Yeah, we could have.
So anyway, in this little booklet, they every single car for Thursday, Friday, Saturdays in this little booklet, right?
In order?
Yeah. So they're all numbered. They start with they start the day at 10. So all the cars that got sold on Thursday are T10. This one just happens to be T15 is the first one on Thursday, and then F for Friday and S for Saturday.
That makes perfect sense.
Right? It makes great sense. I love how easy that is to follow. But there's little line. There's a picture of the car.
Yep.
And then what it is, and then probably 12 characters worth of space where you can talk about what it is. So this one I randomly opened to 2007 Maserati Quattroporte. So then underneath it says 4.2 liter, 400 horsepower, automatic. Right? And
that's good to know.
And then there's 3 lines underneath it that you can just write stuff about it.
So the final cost.
So a lot of people were just sitting in the bleachers with a pen writing the cost of what every single one of these cars sold for. But then if you're a bidder,
yeah,
they've got probably notes about things they saw on the car, and then like they'll probably put like what I'm willing to bid on, like because I think some of these people go in there and buy 20 cars,
right?
Buy 10 cars, whatever,
and that would make sense
because they're probably dealers, and so they go in there and they go, I think I can sell this car for $60,000. I'm willing to spend 50 on it,
right?
So, that's kind of where it is. They also mark in here whether these are reserve or no reserve cars.
Which is good to know.
A lot of these are, I would say it's probably pretty close to 50-50.
Yeah, flipping through it looked that way.
Saturday was supposed to be the day for the big cars. But then, like the big money stuff, right? But then there was also like a 2003 Dale Earnhardt edition Monte Carlo.
I thought you said they were all that is big ticket. That's
you're right.
reserved
My
for
bad.
Saturday.
You're right.
Hail Dale. Or praise Dale.
Praise Dale. Raise hell, praise Dale, right, Robbie?
Yes.
So there was some bullshit in there. Like that, I don't remember if it was the Quattroporte. There was a Maserati.
Yeah.
Sold for $13,000.
They're so cheap. I mean, there's a reason for it, but they're so cheap.
I feel like you could have made money on that.
No,
it's just the wrong crowd.
No, I think that car, after it hits...
Is that what that car's worth?
Any mileage is worthless.
Well, the problem is, like, okay, so it sold for $13,000, but I think the seller pays 6%, or sorry, the buyer pays 6% and the seller pays 10%, I think.
Yeah, I bet it's a shockingly large amount of money.
So they're making, those are guess numbers, but they might make, I'll bet they make 15 to 20% on every car they sell.
Probably.
But you got to add that on top to your purchase price if you plan on just buying it to resell it. You got to keep that in mind.
Right.
You're not buying a car for $15,000. You're buying a car for closer to $20,000 by the time you're done with it.
Yeah.
By the time you're out the door. And that might eat up a lot of profit margin.
They should. Yeah. I'm surprised that this auction is actually a resale auction at like. You'd think
I
that
don't
these
know
would
that,
all... I mean, I'm sure that it's a pretty small percentage, but...
I don't know. I don't know what most people go there... Excuse me. What most people are going there to buy or look at or whatever.
To get their dream car.
We went there...
For way too much money.
The main reason that... I mean, my dad and I just like to go to these things.
Of course.
I greatly prefer estate auctions. I love going to
estate auctions. That makes two
auctions.
of us.
Estate auctions are so much fun. One of my favorite things. Right?
I love that.
They are right up there with walking junkyards. It's two of my greatest, loves.
I'm the same way.
Sounds even so weird coming out of a 32-year-old guy.
Even
it's
thrifting.
So much fun, dude.
Jess doesn't understand my fascination with thrifting and rummaging. Because I'll walk into
dude, garage sale weekend is the greatest weekend ever.
Or when people buy houses and have a bunch of stuff in it, they're as fixer uppers, and they're like, you can take whatever you want. Like, there's everything in this house is worthless to me. I'm like, I'm going to be here all day.
I think it's a terrible way to make a living, and I don't think that there's really any money in it, despite what TV made it look like.
Oh,
but I think buying storage units looks like a riot.
It can be a riot.
But dude, the place I used to work at had a storage facility.
Yep.
All the abandoned ones were always 100% garbage.
Yeah, it's cockroaches and garbage.
Except somebody abandoned one, and the only thing that was in it was my sim rig.
See? And now it's worth it again.
It's the only thing that was in there. We opened it up, and it was completely empty. There wasn't even trash in there. Just in one corner was sitting the seat and wheel.
Yeah.
The whole thing was there. It had a G27 on it.
That's a nice little setup.
Or a G25, maybe.
Yeah, the 25.
I think it was a 25.
The 7 has a shifter.
It did not have a shifter.
It's a 5, then. It's
a
25.
Yep. Yeah. But it's all there.
But still, that's nice for free 95.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I actually paid for it or not. I think
you were supposed to. You did. If you were supposed to, you totally did.
I don't care. Fuck him. I think what ended up happening is he asked me what I thought it was worth, and I gave him a number, and he added money onto it, which I thought was bullshit. And I said, no, I'm not buying that, and then it ended up at my house anyway.
Nice.
Because we were just going to throw it away.
Yeah.
So we threw it away in my vehicle.
I think that's fair.
Fuck them.
Yeah, if they're going to trash it, it should be in your house.
Yeah.
It's worth something to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to buy it, but it's worth something.
I still use the chair every time I play video games.
I do too.
My wheel's not hooked up to it, but when I play video games, that's because I got to be close to the TV.
You can't see from
I can't
across
sit
the
at my
room.
couch and see. I can't read the fine print, man.
I understand.
So I got a little chair that my racing chair sits closer to my TV.
Yeah, I get it.
So I can play my video games. It's fine. But some of the big ticket cool cars we got to see sell. Somebody there, they had, I don't think I took any picture of these because I couldn't be bothered.
That's fine. No, it's not.
Somebody sold an entire collection of last generation and maybe a little bit of the generation before Mustang.
I couldn't tell you what generation
like
that is.
10 or 12 of them. Mostly S197s. And mostly Roush packaged ones.
Okay, so
and it was, and I quote, the Stampede collection.
That's not real.
That's what they called it.
His collection is the Stampede collection, or there is a legitimate Mustang Stampede collection?
No, that was what this guy, that was like when they started selling those cars, because they sold them one after another, right?
Yeah, of course.
They were all grouped together. It was like one of the, like the attractions, right? So when you walk in the door that we came in, there was a bunch of these Mustangs and 3 Ford GTs.
Okay.
And the Ford GTs, I think, were all the same guy, and they were all there together.
Yep.
They all got sold one after the other.
Of course.
And then the Stampede collection was the first thing to roll across the auction block, basically. And it was just like
just a handful of Mustangs?
8 to 12 Mustangs, most of them Roush packages, and they'd be like, this car has $50,000 in aftermarket performance parts. It makes 500 horsepower or whatever it is. and then it would sell for like $20,000.
Yeah, it's a Mustang.
This is the only one of its kind. This is a Roush blah, 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 blah. And then it'd sell for $25,000. And this car has $60,000 in modifications. Okay, well, here's your $15,000.
Great. The Stampede collection.
Stampede collection. And there's probably some Mustang fanatic who's like, how dare you speak poorly of the Stampede collection, but it's a terrible name.
It makes perfect sense for a Mustang, but that can't be real.
I will not support it. That's what they called it.
I have to know. That has to be his personal collection.
Yeah, it was his personal collection. I think it was this dude's personal collection, and that's just what he called it. Okay, here they are. I actually found them. They are, so there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it continues on to the next page. Yes, it does. 10, 11. There were 11 of them. Oh, did you find it? Is it a thing?
Yes, but only on the Mecum website.
So, like, in here, there's like the very first one is an 08 Shelby GT convertible. One of 195 produced. You know, and then there's a Bullet, which I mean they're kind of desirable cars. They were a thing, right? And then there's like an 05 Ford Mustang Saline. Salines are cool. Salines are fun.
There is a Stampede Edition Mustang.
No,
it's a V6.
But oh no!
It's building upon the pony package.
Oh, look at that! There's a 3.7 liter automatic Roush.
I'm shocked that it's automatic.
Yeah,
Mustang drivers never have automatics.
Yeah,
like
so there was
owners.
it was a deal. So, but that was kind of funny to see those. The other like real big ticket item that rolled across the block was they had 3 Ford GTs there.
Awesome.
Like I said, I think they were all the same guy.
Yeah.
I know they were all option loaded, which apparently I think is just 3 things: the Macintosh upgraded stereo.
Why?
And then like there was 2 or 3 other little things that were options on those cars, and I think that was all you could buy for options.
Leather and
then the first one they sold was quote the Heritage Edition, which means it's GT, it's Gulf colored.
Yep, of course.
So obviously that was great.
It doesn't have a number on it.
You put
just
your
got
own
a big
number
circle.
on it, Robbie. You just put your own.
No, you
number
can't
on
ruin the paint with that.
it. It's fine.
No.
Well, then don't.
It ruins the heritage.
So I don't remember what the other 2 went for, but the Gulf one, so when you're watching the bidding, right, and they'll be running up the bid, and the owner for the cars are supposed to be standing there with the cars when they're being sold.
So you can watch them get like super happy or super disappointed.
Well, yeah, but the main reason they're there is because they can decide on the fly to pull the reserve.
Oh.
And so, like, they'll be standing there, you know, and the auctioneer will be like, they're rapping up there, right? They're saying weird shit or whatever.
They're not really saying real words.
Yeah, and then have you ever seen that video where they like put auctioneers over like a rap beat?
I think so, yes.
And they're like cattle
Yes,
auctioneers.
I have seen that one.
Hilarious.
That's good stuff.
But anyway, they're selling these cars, and then like the owner could be like, I just want to drop the reserve. And they'll be like, and they'll just like, there's like graphics fly over all their LED panels. They're like, no reserve. And like everybody cheers it, right? And they're like,
Yeah!
like, I don't know if that's supposed to make me spend another 20 grand or what,
Yeah, of course.
but I think it does.
It's time to buy.
Because I don't know, man. It's wild. It's wild.
Open those checkbooks.
Yeah.
No reserve.
Yeah, it's wild, out of control. But then the other thing they do is they'll say the bid goes on, and that'll flash across the screen, right?
hell
And then
does
they'll
that
roll
mean?
the car off, and I think that means that it didn't sell for the reserve.
But you can go and
But
negotiate.
I think the bidder could go and talk to the seller, and they might be able to come to an agreement on a price. But of course, Mecum still gets their cut.
They get their cut.
Right, yeah. So I remember there were a lot of cars that, like, I'd have been beside myself with excitement if somebody was going to write me a check for the amount of money those cars were selling for, and they'd flash, the bid goes on, and they'd roll it away, and I was like, you people are nuts.
Weird.
But the Heritage Edition Ford GT rolled off the stage at 410.
See, to me,
The bid goes on.
that felt like a fair price.
I thought that was a ton of money. Like, that seems totally what that... The other ones, I don't remember what the other ones went for, or if they even sold. Maybe they didn't meet their reserves either. I don't remember, but I just remember paying attention to that one because it's the Golf one.
Yeah, of
and
course.
I knew it was probably going to be the highest selling car of the day, and as far as I know, when we left, it was.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything too crazy about them. They sell for about $500,000 or less.
Yeah, I would guess that somewhere between, depending on miles and options, probably between 3 and 5 is probably what the going rate for those cars are.
I thought so. I guess I haven't been paying attention to the markets.
I don't know. Maybe the guy just,
He knows what he has.
he doesn't want to sell it.
I get
He
that.
just wants to roll it through the auction, and then
Yeah, do you pay to put them in the auction? And then if they
I assume
don't
if
sell,
it doesn't sell, they still get paid somehow, but it's probably not as high a percent.
No, but
it's probably like a flat fee to put a car in the auction,
still.
and then they get their percentage when they sell it.
Yeah, I mean, even at $500 every time a car rolls across, it doesn't sell. That adds up real fast.
Oh yeah, they're making money. Don't you worry.
Hand over fist.
Don't you worry, Robbie. They got that TV deal in there.
Oh yeah,
Dude, there's this huge trailer, like tractor trailer thing in there with all the like satellite dishes and the antennas and the catered craft services and all this stuff. And there's people walking around in all black, and there's guys running these cameras and chicks walking around talking into mics and looking at cameras and reading off cue cards and
jeez.
the whole 9 yards, dude.
very professional.
Professional.
Huh?
It's quite the ordeal. It was kind of interesting. That was, to me, it was honestly one of the more interesting parts of the show.
The production.
Was watching them. I mean, they're literally, as you're standing there watching, filming a nationally televised TV show. We talked about it on the news a couple of months ago, how like the insane hundreds of hours that was going to have Mecum auctions.
Yeah. Was it live? Do you remember?
I don't think so.
Are they taped?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. If I remember right, my dad texted me and said it was on TV the next day.
Oh wow, that's a lot of production if you get it done in a
Yeah,
day.
that's just no shit turnaround.
Yeah.
But
Granted, there shouldn't be a
Dude,
lot of editing,
like,
but
probably a large percentage of the people who are listening to the show right now are going to watch this with their family at Christmas this week.
just in the background.
Yeah, so keep an eye out because I might be in there.
Yes.
Probably chasing my kid.
What shirt are you wearing?
I don't remember.
A Petrobox shirt, I'm sure.
Probably. I don't have any idea. But a couple of the cars that were of interest to me, specifically, somebody had a sweet Econoline van, as we do love, Robbie.
That's a Dodge.
Well, there's
hold on.
maybe it was
Please
a
hold.
Dodge van. I don't know. It was one of the flat nose vans.
Okay.
I can just tell you that. But what I do know,
There it is.
what I do remember is that,
Took your pictures all from the
well, Robbie, so here's what I've decided.
landscape.
Here's what I've just, but see, you bitch at me if I do a landscape for Instagram. And I'm not taking 2 pictures of every vehicle, so just fucking deal with it. Don't even ask me, Robbie.
You just talked about production.
And so here's what I've decided. Here's what I've decided. I'm going to take pictures from a little bit far away, and you can fucking zoom in and deal with it.
I'll crop them however
you can crop and zoom.
You see how well that works?
See? That's what I'm saying.
I zoom
You're
in,
welcome.
It's fine.
You're welcome, Robbie.
I appreciate it.
But this one is interesting. I've never seen one with the window configuration that this one had.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a boatload of windows on it.
It's glass all around.
All the way around.
Is that from the factory, or is that
I
like
think
you
so.
can put pods on them?
No,
like
I think
back
it
in
was
the
a
day?
semi-rare
like
thing.
Today. I like it.
It was cool.
It's like a greenhouse.
Very rad.
Its color is too plain. Cream white is not a great color for that van.
Yeah, well,
Give me like an off blue or a green or something.
There was a turbo LeBaron there.
Where's your LeBaron, Freddie?
It's a turbo Dodge, Robbie.
No, there's no turbo.
Oh, no, it was a real turbo Dodge.
No.
Probably sold for like $3,000.
Like this Miata?
So that was like
Pristine.
250% stock. Like all the way
Steel
down to the
wheels.
steely wheels.
Yep.
But it was like the most unoptioned thing on the planet.
I bet it sold for like, what, $8,000?
I don't know. It was
Too much?
It was a Thursday car. So most of the cars are still there on Saturday.
Oh, so
I don't think
people
all
go
of
look
them,
at them?
I don't think all of them are there, but I think most of them are.
Makes sense.
So when you show up on Saturday, you get to watch the big show, and you get to see all the things, and you can also look at probably, I would guess, like 90% of the cars.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, you want to be able to kind of have the car show aspect.
Barrett Jackson, you cannot leave. If your car sells on the first day, you can't pick it up until the day after the auction is over. That is the rules.
That makes sense.
Because that is for the show.
Right.
But I don't think that Mecum enforces that, but does seem to be what most people did. Because most of the cars were still there.
Yeah. I mean, you want it.
Yeah.
You got to show off the car you just bought.
Right. So it was cool.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
I think that there are some deals to be had in this one. Like, there are some cars that, like, if you just had a sum of money and you were just looking for a fun car, I think that you could go and buy a cool little ride.
Yeah. They're not selling for totally out of the market pricing.
I honestly don't know.
Doesn't seem that way.
There were a number of those cars there that I was like, well, that seems reasonable. And honestly, if you're into weirder stuff or not American stuff, this is a really good place to be.
For sure.
Because those cars don't sell for much money.
Yeah, I like that.
They're there.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Like, there were two. There was a Stealth and a 3000 GT. I think I took a picture of one of them even.
Stealth?
So, that's a Stealth. No.
Yes.
Yes, it is. That's Stealth.
We're going to stick to that because no one can prove us wrong.
Yeah.
That's a Stealth.
So, they were both the twin turbo cars.
Great.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Hope you never have to work on them.
I'll bet that they didn't sell for great money there.
No, I'm sure. Even this one looks to be in perfect condition.
They
I
were
bet
both.
it sold
They were both red. They were both in really good shape. They were both real good looking cars, and I'll bet they were both really good deals.
$8,000 for perfectly immaculate 3000 GT.
So
I'm sure we could look it up. I just don't care.
Right.
It's more fun if we make the story
Just make
up.
shit up.
Yeah.
So there were two things that were there that my dad was specifically interested in. One of them being a 70 Trans Am, which is what he's restoring right now.
Yep.
That car went for a pretty good price. I want to say it was either 50 or 60.
Oh boy.
That it went for?
Say it's not cheap.
No. And so that one, so the 70 Trans Ams you either got with white with a blue stripe or blue with a white stripe.
Okay.
And there's less blue with white stripes. So in theory, they're more desirable.
Right. They're rare. They're expensive.
They seem to tend to go for a little bit more. My dad's is blue with a white stripe.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, he was interested in, number one, he just wanted to see the car. And then number two, we stayed there long enough to see it sell just so he knew what it went for.
Yeah. And that's a good price point to know, like,
yeah, that
when
was
this
kind
is
of
completely restored,
like,
what I could potentially sell it for.
Am I drowning in this car? Am I above water in this car for once. You know, like, where am I at here? So we're not going to talk about it because that's nobody's business.
No, they can worry about their own.
The other thing that he wanted to look at, he's got that. So everybody knows what an El Camino is.
Yeah, it's Spanish for the Camino.
The road, Robbie.
Whatever. I don't speak Spanish. This is America.
GMC made their version called the Sprint.
Yes.
There's many fewer of those.
Yes.
And then the SS packaged Sprints were SPs.
Okay.
So my dad has a Sprint SP. I don't remember what year it is, so I'm not even going to talk about it. 70 something.
It's close enough.
My dad has a Sprint SP. It's a pretty rare car. There's something less than 200 ever made in the package that he has.
Yeah, I'd call that rare.
Yeah, so there was one that was there that was the more rare version.
Okay, even rarer.
So it's a big block air conditioning car. And I want to say that one they said there's only like 25 ever made and only 16 known to exist or something stupid.
Okay.
And my dad just wanted to know what it went for. And I don't even remember. But I really, because nobody really knows about the GMC Sprint.
No, it's the Camino.
It's the El Camino.
The El Camino.
Right. The Camino.
The Camino.
The Camino. Yes, Robbie.
Yep.
We went there.
The El Camino.
But so it's one of those cars. It could go either way.
Right.
Right. It could sell for nothing because it's so obscure and weird, or it could go for a ton of money because it's rare and obscure and weird. And I think it kind of ended up more towards the ton of money option, but I can't remember what it sold for. But it was big money. It was a really nice car.
Well, that's cool.
It had like less than 100 miles on the restoration.
Oh, boy.
And my dad's like, I wish I could have bought it because I'd have drove it out of here and drove it home.
That would have been awesome. That would have been good.
My dad said he texted my mom and told her that, you know, it didn't have even 100 miles on it since the resto, which I think was 2 years ago or something like that. And my mom's like, he just doesn't get it, does he? So
she gets it.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Mecum was fun. I highly encourage anybody who's in the areas of, there's a bunch of them all across the country.
Everywhere.
It's totally worth it's a great way to burn a Saturday.
Yeah, this looks like fun.
It's a ton of fun.
See neat,
it's kind of
cars.
Expensive, but it was totally worth it.
We spent way more on way less.
Oh, absolutely.
All the time.
You can't go to movies for that.
No.
So it's cool. It's fun. There's lots of neat cars, lots of weird cars.
You get to listen to like great American rock and like laser light shows.
Thunderstruck, man.
Yeah.
Strobe lights.
What more do you want?
It's the most American thing I can think of, even though AC/DC I don't think is an American band.
Are you asking? Are you?
No, I don't think they are. I think they're from another country.
No.
I don't fucking know.
We're too young.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't like AC/DC, and I like that kind of music. I like that era of music, and I don't like them. I said it.
Wow. I don't. It's not on any of my playlists, but they don't even exist. They were formed in Sydney. They're Australian.
See, I told you.
I didn't know that. Look what I learned today.
Yeah.
AC/DC. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're not American
AC/DC is
at
an
all.
Australian band.
I know.
Weird.
But Thunderstruck is like
Painfully
quintessentially American. We've ingrained that into our society.
Every football highlight tape starts with
Absolutely.
that. It's football season.
Thunderstruck. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's just like, you know,
the more
Thunderstruck
you know.
And We Will Rock You. You know, there's just like a couple of those that they just Eye of the Tiger.
Yep.
Yeah, man. All rise, no fall.
I guess.
Queen's not American either.
Nope.
We Will Rock You. I don't know who sings Eye of the Tiger. They're probably from Britain, too.
This rant brought to you by Factor Fabrication.
There you go.
FactorFabrication.com. He will sand you a awesome table.
So, Robbie, what do we do this weekend?
I don't remember.
No, you do remember this time. It was me that got sick.
My God, I was tired.
Oh, so
we got up at
before the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah, 0 dark 30. It was bad.
Welcome to my everyday, Robbie.
And then we
drove
get up
pretty early too, though, don't you?
Yeah, 5:30.
Oh, okay,
it's not terrible. Yeah, so then we got up early and drove. Well, I drove. You just
I was
hung out.
I didn't sleep on the way there.
That's true.
I was planning on driving home.
You slept a lot.
Not a lot. I slept from like Iowa City to Newton.
No, yeah, that's probably right. It wasn't that bad.
No.
So yeah, I went to PRI.
It was great.
It was good times.
First of all, I don't know what's going on in Illinois and Indiana, but they got way too many state patrols.
Oh my gosh. So the Google app now lets you drop pins where there's speed traps
Like
and
Waze
accidents.
has for years.
Yeah, so they're finally getting with the times.
Yep.
So we're going through the last like real stretch of Indiana before we get to Indy.
Yeah, we're probably,
Indy.
let's say an hour out.
Yeah. So for like from hour 2 to hour 1 away,
Yeah.
I bet we saw 15 cops.
At least.
Not counting all the ones that were stopped to help other people that were already like pulled over.
There was that one we saw. There were 3 cops behind that one car, and they had those guys out in the ditch.
Yep, and they looked like they were in a work van.
They were getting busted for
they're in
drugs.
trouble. Yeah, you don't bring 3 cops to just a standard bust.
Nah.
So we saw that, but it was so messed up because every time we'd get to a point, I'd just kind of reach over and hit speed trap.
Report, yeah.
Yep. Is the speed trap still here? Yep.
Yes.
Now I report it, so we keep going. And I get to the point where I hit it, and it goes, "You've exceeded your limit of how many pins you can drop today." Why is that a thing?
Because some assholes out there dropping them every 3 or 4 miles just for funsies.
But if someone's going in there and like saying these aren't here, that's fine. But if I'm putting it there and people are confirming it, let my pins stay. Let it be on an honor system that like I can get my things revoked. But they're legit.
I just think it's funny that there were so many. You put in so many that they were like, "Nah, man, you're
This dude's lying."
There's no way there's that many cops in that small an area. You need to relax.
There was though.
It was crazy. I've never seen the amount of cop traffic in one trip and I've driven all across the country many, many times.
It's not even a holiday.
Never seen the amount of cop traffic that we saw through in Illinois and into Indiana.
No, it was weird.
It was wild.
But I didn't
Couldn't
get pulled
believe
over,
it.
so that's nice. No tickets today.
Nah, we weren't in that much of a rush.
No, I wasn't speeding actually.
Yeah.
Just putzing along.
I mean, 75 is still a pretty clipping pace.
It's
I
not
mean, you get where you're going.
We're just listening to All Rise music the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. Whatever came up on the radio.
Yeah, which is like gospel and country.
Gross. Both.
Well, it's really funny because I'd get to a song, I'd hit, like I'd just keep scrolling until I found a song I noticed that I would stop on.
Yeah.
And if it was a country song, I'm like, well, I can't listen to this one. Nope. I like this song,
I
but
refuse, Robbie.
I
It's
can't
so
listen
bad.
to it. Gotta move on.
I wouldn't have bitched that much.
Oh well. Yes, we got there. Oh fuck. Yeah, so it took us 7 hours to get to Indy, which of course is 8 hours in time because we have time zones.
Yeah.
So we get there about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
I think we got there like 1.
Yeah.
We got
there at 1.
We got to the convention center at 1. We got into the convention center at 2:30.
That's how long it took us to find parking.
And then
I know
walk 15 minutes to the convention center from the parking garage.
I bet we circled downtown Indy 5 or 6 different times from different directions.
So annoying.
Finally found a parking garage open that was past the government center, and then walked. And at that point, it's like, it's an hour or 2 left before everyone's booted out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got there way too late at that point. Shuts down at 5.
Yep.
We're strolling in there at 2:30. Sweet.
Went straight to the people that we knew because it wasn't really a point in trying to make new friends.
Yeah. So, Robbie, you were there for more than just the podcast.
Yeah.
How much of that do you want to talk about?
Yeah, we can get into it. I'm not really positive on it right now.
Oh, really? That's kind of a bum deal. We left on such positive notes.
We did, actually.
No.
Because I'm the Time Trials director and my goal is to get sponsorships and contingencies for next year. That was my goal, was to get people to sign on for next year.
So you showed up with a list.
Showed up with a list, and I checked it twice and went and talked to a handful of people, talked to a lot of people. And basically the general consensus was, you should call me or email me on Monday.
Yeah, we're interested. Why don't you give me a call? Which apparently maybe is code word for fuck off.
Yep. That's what I've picked up.
Oh no, that sucks, dude.
I thought it was like a career fair. It's like, yeah, if you, we're not going to get into the details here, but yeah, we're interested. So just get a hold of me, and then we'll go from there. So I spent like all Monday writing up this like perfect email, like detailing the series and why they'd be a good, like tailored them to every single specific sponsor as to why it makes sense we would team up. Radio fucking silence. So I got a lot of work to do yet. I'm not done. I mean, it's just day 2 at this point. So
yeah,
I mean, it's Christmas coming up. People are busy. I'm not saying no.
You're not the only person who's walking around PRI looking for money.
Exactly. I'm guaranteed they're all flooded with emails. They're going through them, looking at them. Obviously, it's discouraging not getting responses except for like 2, which I'm not going to get into the specifics of like, but I do have I have a couple positives. So I mean, there is that.
Cool.
I do have a couple thumbs up from a handful of people. So
cool.
But yeah, the overall consensus was I was expecting emails by now, didn't get them, so I'm disappointed. Just means I got to work harder, which is fine. We won't get too far into
we'll talk about it when it's closed. How about that? When the deals are closed, then we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. But yeah, so I had 2 hats on. We were obviously there to do podcast stuff, and we get media credentials, so we're walking around the show. And
I was proud of you, Robbie.
I did talk to a lot of people.
Because you were like... You were doing your people person thing.
I walked right up to people and told them who I was and what I was there for, and we talked about things.
It's been a year of change for Robbie VIERHOUT.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm a people person now.
Yeah, I mean, let's you can be.
I can be if I have to.
Yeah, but then you have to spend like a week in your house.
I'm so excited for my Christmas break. 2 weeks of nobody.
My Christmas break is literally Christmas Day.
Ugh, that sucks.
I got to work on Christmas Eve of the whole damn day.
Damn it.
They sent out an email last week. They're like, we'll work till 3 on Christmas Eve. Gee, thanks. I'm supposed to work till 3:30 for a normal day. That's supposed to be my normal quitting time. Thanks, guys.
They're so generous.
Yeah. Dicks.
Yep. So I went in and started talking to the people that I thought would be great fits for the series. So I made some good connections. I'm not feeling too negative on it in all reality.
Yeah.
It's going slower than I'd like it to.
Yeah, it always does.
Yep, so it was kind of cool, though. We go and talk to Andrew at Apex Pro, and obviously, if you guys listened to last week's episode, you know that. And we talked to him Saturday again for the show, which was really good. But yeah, it was nice to just go and catch up with him, meet some people that, like, through him that we hadn't formally met yet. Ross Bentley was in their booth for quite a while. And
I know, I wish I would have noticed that.
I said hey, but I didn't go over and really talk to him.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
And he was gone, like, I'm sure. Right away the next day. Then we just made the rounds and met people and got stopped a couple times.
Yep.
Like to let us know that people listen to our show, which is cool.
Super weird. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
And
then we hung out with the guys from Petzer Box.
Yeah, so John hit us up earlier this year, and he's like, hey, I got like a bunch of Airbnb gift cards or whatever, and I found this Airbnb with 7 bedrooms if you guys are interested. We're like,
yeah.
And he's like, it's only like a mile away from the convention center, or 2 or 3 or whatever it was.
It could have been 20. I still would have gone.
Like, yeah, we're doing that. That sounds great. And so that place turned out to be
the deal.
That was sweet.
It was like 7 bedrooms.
Yeah, and then a handful of those bedrooms have 2 beds in them.
We could have had like this raging
Dude,
party.
we could have had...
I mean, you went to bed at like 8 o'clock, but it could have been raging.
I was trying not to die, Robbie. But, like, 2 full bathrooms, 2 full kitchens, 2 full living rooms, the whole 9 yards. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. It was cool to hang out with them, but like I want to do that again.
Yeah, we have to do it that way next year.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah.
This was the best PRI I've had. Granted, the first one doesn't count because I don't think I was really there.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't have anything negative to say about last year.
Did you kind of get sick last year too, though?
Yeah, I get sick at PRI. That's just how it goes.
Right.
Like I have a cold now. Like it's a minor head cold, but yeah, I get sick at PRI.
I like Saturday night. I had a real as we were finishing up talking with a couple of guys we did for our shows. Like my throat was just progressively getting more sore, and I was really hoping that it was just because I hadn't drank enough water, and we've been doing a bunch of talking and yelling and screaming and whatever. And then we're back at the house, and like it's getting so bad that like I can barely swallow. It hurts so bad. And then like oh, now I'm getting a fever. I can feel it coming on. And dude, Saturday night, I was curled up in the fetal position with like a terrible fever, freezing my ass off. And then I'd go from like just like shivering cold to like, oh my God, I'm dying. It's so hot in here. What just happened? Like a light switch, dude. It was the worst. I got no sleep.
That's a real fever. Which was funny though, because someone had changed the thermostat from 68 to 72 and didn't turn it back down before I went to bed. And then I closed my door, but apparently I'm like right next to the furnace.
Yeah.
So I bet my room was well into the 80s.
Oh God.
I come out sweating my ass off and I go straight to the thermostat. 72.
We think we're made of money? No, wait, this isn't my house.
This isn't my house. So I turn it back down to 68 and like crack the door. It's like, I can't sleep when it's that hot.
Yeah.
But anyways, we can take a step back. So we get settled with them Friday night, hang out with them. Yeah, Friday night.
Yep.
So then we go, and did we eat dinner with them Friday night?
Yeah, we went to the burger joint.
Yes. Okay.
That you didn't get to enjoy nearly as much as you wanted to.
My God. I'm so mad at myself.
Dude, that place was rad.
Yes. So we go to
Kuma, Kuma.
Kuma
Burger Shop. Something like that.
So it's like 4 o'clock, and you and I are starving. So
because we didn't eat lunch.
Yep. So I was like, all right, well, I'll get a pulled pork sandwich. And we get back to the house.
I had the second worst pizza of my life. The first worst being the one I had at Mecum the weekend before. Dude, it was the worst pizza.
How was it that bad?
At the one at Mecum, I genuinely don't know. Like, I feel like if I put together a list of ingredients to like purposely make a bad pizza, that it still would have been better than this.
How do you mess up pizza?
Dude, the sauce was gross. The cheese was like, it was there, but it had no taste. The crust was so thin that if the stuff on top of it wasn't there, you could have like used it to look at a solar eclipse because you could kind of see through it. It was so bad.
Weird.
It was nasty. And then that stuff I had at PRI
wasn't any better.
Not a remarkable improvement.
The pulled pork sandwich was very good.
It looked like it was fine.
There was a lot of meat to it.
Ton of meat.
I mean, then they had a bunch of barbecue sauce on it, and everything that dripped out of it went onto your chips, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like, the crinkle chips that are just made for that.
Right.
And it had a pickle, and it wasn't that overpriced. It was great.
Right.
And I was full.
I paid like $7.50 for the second worst pizza I've ever had in my life.
I paid like $8.50 for a pulled pork sandwich.
Right. It was
and I walked away full.
Bad deal.
Yeah. And then we go to the house and catch up with the guys and get all settled in, and they're like, let's go get dinner. You sons of bitches. I just ate.
But you should have known this was coming, Ravi.
I don't know why it didn't occur to me.
We should have just like done a fucking fly through McDonald's at like
3 o'clock, or right as we got there. We should have just.
Well, yeah, as we were coming into Indianapolis, we should have hit an exit, grabbed some food.
Yep.
Of course, if we would have got into the convention center in a timely manner, we could have ate an hour earlier at the convention center.
True.
And then we would have been in a much better boat there as well.
Yep. Yeah. So then we go to Kuma, and it's a normal eating dinner time.
Yeah.
And we get settled in
6:30ish,
and this place is like a metal.
So the burgers were like the Pantera, the Metallica, stuff like that,
and like other like actual like real metal bands. It's like Booney would have loved it.
Yeah.
And they had like paintings on the wall with all metal bands based off the burgers. Like it's kind of like if you're from Des Moines, you know Zombie Burger. So think of that, but
it was kind of that
metal bands.
Gourmet burger joint.
Yep,
everybody's got some sort of. They all have a hook.
Yep.
This one's happened to be metal. Ours is the undead.
Yep. All the burgers were on pretzel buns,
which were great.
I'm not a big fan of pretzel buns.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's like a thing I've just recently discovered as being something I like.
I mean, they're fine. I mean, I'm not going to pick a burger. I'm not going to walk away from a burger because it's a pretzel bun.
Right.
It's not my first choice.
Okay.
But anyways, so we sit down, and I'm like, God, these all look great.
Dude, all right.
I had to order one.
Yeah.
And I had to eat the whole thing.
I couldn't.
I came close.
I was like really into the fries.
The fries were delicious.
This is the problem. Like, I really like good French fries, and I'll just kind of be like eating the French fries, and every once in a while I'll catch myself like, I should probably be eating the burger, right? Because like That's the expensive part of this meal.
Yes.
Probably eat the burger, and then I'll eat a few bites of it, and then I'll go back to the fries. And next thing I know, all the fries are gone, and the burger's half gone, and I'm stuffed.
Yep.
Story of my life. So, mine had so I love eggs on my burgers. That's, bacon, egg, cheese. Perfect. So I get my burger with the egg on it, and it shows up, and I was like, I don't know what consistency the yolk is, because I've been burned a handful of times. You pick up the burger and you squeeze it,
and you just squirt in your
and
mouth.
it just shoots. No, the problem is that it comes out. You're going to bite, and you bite down, and it goes straight into your lap. And now you're a yolky mess.
This whole conversation's a phrasing conversation.
You've got a whole bunch of egg all over your lap.
You literally have egg on your face.
Yeah. No, it's on my lap, dude. It's all over my pants and stuff. It's just all this, my burger just splooged all over me.
You burst the load onto your pants.
Onto my pants, exactly.
Yeah, out of your burger.
And so I was like, I'm a little bit gun shy.
Yeah, you don't want to take a big bite and just burst everywhere.
Right. So I was trying to feel out the consistency of the yolk, right? And apparently E-Man's watching me, and I took my pointer finger and I'm just poking a couple of times, just
just paint a picture. So you sit, you get handed your burger, you set it down,
Yep,
you eat some fries.
Yep, here comes fries.
You lift the bun.
Yep, I take the top off the bun,
and you hold it in one hand, and then you just poke the egg.
And he goes, "The fuck are you doing?" And I was like, well, I'm just trying to. I didn't know if it was over easy. Is it over medium? I'm just trying to get a feel for how much of this is going to end up in my lap. And he's just like, "What?
You're so weird."
Honestly, I was hoping that it would pop.
Yeah, then just
right. It's kind of like a bubble.
Yeah, just get it out of the way.
Yeah, just do it now instead of when I squeeze it with my hands and the bun,
Yep.
and then it shoots all over my lap.
I get that,
but it didn't work.
No, we made fun of you.
So they made it a pretty good consistency, because it was still.
You almost need it over hard.
It was still. That's kind of
almost
over medium is kind of where I feel is the best.
Fair.
Right. I want my eggs to be over easy,
but you don't want to make the big mess.
But on a burger, I think they should be more of an over medium.
Yes.
Well, these guys, they did a real good job with their egg cooking. I'll give them credit, because it was over easy, but it was at that stage where it was tacky.
Oh, perfect.
And it was sticky enough that it, for the most part, stayed in the burger. And then I just made sure to keep it over the plate. It was fine.
Perfect.
So I got away pretty clean.
And then this is the first restaurant I've ever been to that had hoppy refreshers.
Yeah.
And I had to have one.
This was your second one of the night.
Yeah.
Because you had one at the house.
I did have one at the house.
When we were kicking it.
Yeah. I also didn't realize how dehydrated I was, because I had 5 glasses of water.
Yeah, I just took the water. She's what would you like to drink? I'll just keep drinking the water.
Keep filling these until I stop drinking.
Don't stop with that.
Come back often.
Yeah.
I am dying.
Yeah.
Which probably was a sign that we were both getting sick, because I was dehydrated.
Well, the other thing is, fountain soda, they always charge way too damn much for.
Yeah, it costs 3 cents, and they charge you $3.
Yeah, so, and a lot of times when I go out to places like that, I'll just take the water.
90% of the time, I'm taking water.
I'm still going to spend $15 out the door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a soda on top of that.
No.
I don't need to pay you $4 more for a couple glasses of Mountain Dew.
Nope.
I'll just drink the water.
Right, I'm right there with you. Unless the company's paying in that case, then I'm always getting the iced tea or something.
Well, okay. I mean, when in Rome. But so Saturday morning.
No, wait. Bro.
Oh, what?
Bro.
Oh.
What do we do Friday night?
Son of a bitch.
Adam Jabay is going to be so mad at you.
He barely even talked to us.
He
was too big time for us.
Yeah, we were nobodies.
He was just talking to all these pro racers and all these people who want to give him money.
Yeah, he don't care about us.
Yeah, he didn't have time for his little old 1010s podcast.
No, who are those guys?
Right.
So what did we do Friday night?
So we went to kart battle at
Grid Life's kart battle in Indianapolis.
What was that place called?
I don't know what it's called.
I forget what it was called.
But it was cool.
I almost walked into their bar, which was 911 Bar and Tavern. I remember that.
Yep.
But I couldn't tell you what the name of the kart speedway is, what I think it was called. KS. But it was something like that. So this place is fucking sweet.
It's a really good go-kart track.
I really like our go-kart situation here in Des Moines. Ours are electric, which frankly sacrilegious as it may be, I prefer. I think they drive more like real cars because most of these go-karts have they have no power till you get them way up in the rev range.
Yes.
And so they don't drive like real cars do.
Correct.
Because they have no torque. Like no torque.
Yes.
Like less than Honda torque. It's bad.
Wow.
It's real bad.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So even though the electric cars are a little different, I think they're closer to real cars.
Yeah.
And I kind of like driving them better.
It's fun to have the torquey one.
Right. I think it's more fun. And I don't care.
It's Speedway indoor karting. For
Speedway
those
indoor karting.
Looking into it. Bring a sweatshirt. They don't heat it.
No. Well, so here's the thing. The other nice thing about electric karting places is that they can close everything up and heat it.
Yes.
Gas-powered carts, they got to have a lot of exhaust to keep you from dying.
You either have to have a great ventilation system or an open window.
Or both.
Or both.
So, but this place had your, like, for lack of a better term, road course, I guess.
Yep, a typical kart track.
2 stories.
Yeah, so you go up, do some turns and chicanes, and then go back down, and then do some turns and chicanes and go back up.
So you come flying down the down ramp at what seemed to be probably one of the faster portions of the track.
Yes.
Into a real hard 180-degree hairpin.
Uh-huh.
And you go from like airborne coming down, and the cart's just like gravity's just kind of taken back over again, and then you got to lock up the brakes to make the corner. Everybody was losing it.
And it doesn't help that those tires have no grip when it's that cold.
They're so cold.
They're ice cold.
Yeah, it was like 40 degrees in there.
Yep. So we watch people just slide into the wall. In
Crash after crash after crash.
Those guys that work there have way more patience than any go-kart track I've ever been to. Yeah, because they just run in there and push cars out of the way.
Yeah, they would just jump out there and push you, because that's the other nice thing about the electric cars.
You can slow them down.
They have a reverse.
That too.
So you can get out of trouble on your own. These guys, you had to go out there and push them. And they're like, that car just crashed there. Just like the 10 others that did
and
just
the 10 that are
before it.
coming.
Yeah, and you just like hop out there and push this guy out of the way.
I saw him get after one person. He legitimately stopped what he was doing, like basically pulled the guy's helmet and was like pointing at his face. It's like the only time I ever saw him.
Damn, I didn't see that.
But I think it's because he came around the corner and like didn't even try to get out of the way and basically hit the guys that were already parked.
Jesus.
So I mean, it got rowdy.
Yeah,
it got real rowdy.
It got real rowdy.
Which is, I mean, it was rowdy before you even put a bad attitude on it. It was, you're gonna be crashing. You're gonna be slipping and sliding.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
It was fun to watch. There's no doubt about it. And then they have a slick oval.
Yep. And like a NASCAR oval is banked.
And then they have like a banked oval. I've never seen a banked kart oval.
Nope.
That was super cool. I bet that would be fun to watch 10 or 15 karts on.
Yeah, it'd be a good time.
So
what was crazy to me is that they were doing the race. And it wasn't part of the Grid Life kart battle. It was a different group right before they started doing the kart battle.
Yep.
And this older gentleman came down that corner and botched the hairpin in the worst possible way and slid right into the wall.
Yeah.
So hard, his helmet came off.
Helmet off.
His helmet came off. He was stunned.
Well, and then he was driving real slow. I think he was seeing stars.
He should have just parked it.
Dude.
The rest of the laps he did, you could tell he was out of it.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have let him just take a left here, man. Just get out.
It was bad.
Yeah, I'll bet he was feeling that. I bet he's still feeling it a couple of days later.
Yeah, probably.
Oof. But I mean, it wasn't like he didn't have his helmet buckled.
I don't know if he did or not.
That's what somebody said. Like, oh, he didn't have it buckled. I was like, no, they all have them buckled. I could see it was buckled.
Oh.
And it was probably pretty loose.
Yeah.
But you could just tell, like, it went under his chin. The whole thing just went forward. Just got off.
Oh, no.
Like the worst possible thing.
It was real bad.
Looked like a blast.
Yeah, I think it'd be a cool place to kart at, but it was just, I mean, there was too much stuff going on. We didn't even try to get seats.
Now, E-Man and Josh did?
Yep.
They signed up and they did it, and we just hung out.
Yeah.
We were being social, talking to people.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
I talked to some people.
Yeah. Most of my Grid Life buddies that I know real well weren't at PRI.
Nope.
So like all the people that I've made friends, most of the people I've made friends with at Grid Life weren't there.
No, I mean I knew a good chunk of them like in passing, but we weren't close enough to like have real conversations.
Yeah, like I know who they are, I recognize them.
Yep.
But I don't like
we don't hang out.
Right, like Gil was there. I like talking to Gil.
We talked to him
Gil's
a little bit.
A good time to talk to. We saw him right as we were walking in. Talked to him at PRI, and then we saw him again at the kart battle, and that was great. But him and Abe and Adam were like the only ones that I like knew well enough to go over and strike a conversation with.
Right, I wasn't about to jump into a group of people like I know one of 8 of you.
Yeah,
so it's all good.
Yep, still fun.
Yep, I had a lot of fun.
Neat place.
So yeah, I mean, if you can get to one of these, I'd recommend it.
It was sweet. I would like to go. The problem is that we're never going to like be at Indy.
Yeah, it's always PRI.
Right, and it's always going to be that way.
Yep. One day I'd like to go a day early and do the Speedway Museum and then like actually do these carts or sign up in advance and actually do the Grid Life battle.
Yeah.
Or not. Yeah, it's whatever. I'm not going to worry about it.
Honestly, like, I don't know, maybe this just kind of plays into my fair weather autocross attitude too, but like I think I'd be more frustrated by the fact that I can't get any heat in those tires and there's just going to be no grip. Like some people are like excited about the challenge.
I'd have fun with it, but
like that to me it's just like, well, this sucks because I'm going to get terrible lap times. It's not going to be representative of any real thing. Like I'm not.
It'll just be a mess.
It's just going to frustrate me and leave me with a sour taste in my mouth when I'm done, and that would be through no fault of the kart facility.
Nope.
And so I just don't know that I even want to do it because I'm just going to leave disappointed.
See, I
have enough disappointment in my life, Robbie.
God, don't get me started.
I don't need that in my racing.
No, I get it. But like, I don't take karting. Even if I was doing like kart battle, I still wouldn't take it serious enough to worry about it.
Yeah, I know, but I still want to like go fast.
I get it.
Just want to set good lap times, Robbie. I just want to attack time.
Gotta attack time.
That's just what I want to do.
And that's what I was great about PRI. We talked about it with Andrew. There's more time attack cars here than I've ever seen.
Yeah, like there's always been like one or two time attack cars in some of the like lower key booths.
Yep.
But like
Optima had you know everything about this car.
I want to say that it's pronounced like Bergmeister. I know that it's mountain climber. How about that in German?
Okay.
E36. It is built by Bimmer World. It's got a twin turbo LS in it, I think. It's got a.
That's not an LS.
Is it not an LS?
No, there's no way.
Maybe it's still a V6, or maybe still an inline 6.
I can tell you, I don't know anything about that particular.
To be completely honest with you, couldn't care less about what engine's in it.
All right, we'll skip that picture.
The aero parts on it, like the front splitter and the aero and the floor underneath the front part of the car, and then the rear diffuser tunnels. They're both off of like 80s and 90s Can-Am prototype cars.
Oh, geez.
Or something crazy that they just like make work in this
it works
thing.
They're freaking huge.
And apparently it makes just metric fuck tons of downforce. And
we're about that.
And I know that it does make right in around the 1,000 horsepower mark.
Jeez.
And that was Optima's SEMA car. Like it's a serious car.
Yes.
But I mean it's one of those deals where, you know, race cars can be show cars. It's very, very well put together.
Yeah, everything on it is perfect and shiny and good.
It was so cool to see. I did not expect that car to be there. No. I figured that it would not, that they would, if you took it to SEMA, you're not going to take it to PRI.
Nah, man, they just loaded it up and brought it up.
So the fact that it was there, I was super pumped about, and it did not disappoint.
No, it's a very, very cool car.
That is a BMW I can get behind.
Wow. You've changed,
so good. Well, anytime that you put like that a level of
it's got nothing to do with BMW anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's like any like hardcore unlimited class time attack car it really has nothing to do with what it was built on. It's a silhouette of its former self.
That's, very true.
That's why as the prep level rises, a lot of the things that separate the slower cars kind of fall by the way. Like, you know, you look at Grid Life Street Class, it's completely dominated by all and rear wheel drive cars.
Right.
You know, and then even Street Mod is still predominantly all and rear wheel drive cars. And then Track Mod, it's kind of starting to, those lines are starting to blur and it matters less. And then in Unlimited, like, I don't know that it matters what wheels your car is being driven by, because there's advantages and disadvantages to every combination.
Right.
And using those advantages and disadvantages to your advantage is what matters most.
Right. Yeah, once you're at that level, the car's so built around.
Yeah, and like that car's there's not a single piece on that car that hasn't been touched. I mean, it's hardly BMW. It's barely even E36 by Silhouette.
It's true.
You know?
I mean, it's a super cool car.
It's got prototype car aero on it. It's fucking rad.
Every car should have prototype car aero.
It's ridiculous. The tunnels and ducting and oh my God. It's so cool. I love it.
I like how it's so huge, the splitter.
Yeah.
Yet it's got no proper support rods or anything like that. It's just that strong, that good.
It's a lot of dry carbon.
Think of that episode on Family Guy, that character, that bottom tooth guy with his mouth sticking out the bottom.
Yeah.
That's how it looks.
Yeah.
It's that big.
So if I don't know if your picture is quite at the right angle, but if you zoom in on the splitter there, you can see in the front how in the middle there it's kind of notched upwards at the bottom.
Yep.
So it's almost tunneled.
Yes.
This is my super rudimentary. I don't know that much about aero.
Let's talk about it.
Guess as to how this thing works. So if you look right behind the front wheels, there are big opening ducts, right? And if you can look down inside these ducts and you can see all the way to the ground and damn near to the front of the car.
Yep.
And what I think is going on there is that across the front of that splitter is the inlet to a tunnel.
Right.
And that is essentially a diffuser tunnel on the front of the car, so it's real low right there at the front of the splitter, and then it curves upwards towards the back of the engine bay.
Yep.
And diverges around the engine and transmission package as it continues to slope upwards, curve upwards, and then that air is then ducted out the side of the car, and it's basically working the same as how you build a rear diffuser in the back of the car, except it's on the front. It's literally tunneled front and rear separately.
I have no way of disagreeing.
I think is how that works.
It sure seems to
I've
work.
never seen a splitter that has that, like,
the way it's made that way.
the way it's notched like that. It almost looks tunneled
Yep.
at the beginning, at the front. I've never seen one that's that way, and all of the reading I've ever done on how splitters work, you wouldn't want that.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can come up with, is that it's all tunneled and ducted, and it's actually letting air in there and then tunneling it out the side of the car and creating downforce that way. And the only way that I can think of it that it would work is if it opens up like a diffuser does.
Yeah, it creates a low pressure
from front
zone.
to back.
Yeah, and the front end is not really an air dam either. It's
really not.
There's you got the radiator in the middle, which it's opened for, and then it's opened up for the gigantic intercoolers. So it's actually just a huge.
So I don't think I think it's more of the continuation of the front tunnels than it is a splitter.
Yeah, I would think so.
And so then I don't know that there's that much weight being produced on the top of it, which might be why they get away without having to put prop rods on it.
That, or it's so close to the ground, it's got nowhere to go.
It's gonna drag anyway. It don't matter what you put on it. It's gonna drag. So fuck it.
Yeah, I didn't stop to dive into it. My brain was in brain was in a whole other dimension.
Well, it was right across from the Hoosier booth. And so while you were in there talking to Hoosier, I was getting up close and personal with this thing, looking all over it. So
that worked out.
Dude, it's so good.
It's a super cool car. I wish I could have nerded out even more over it.
I think
we were there for all of Saturday. We stop and do our shows and stick around. There's another show coming out with another interview.
Yep.
But we do that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, it's 4:00. Get out. But I just got here.
Dude, I couldn't believe I thought for sure that they would just shut it down and then Monday was loadout.
Nope.
But no, people were like packing up booths. Booths were half gone at 4:05.
Yes.
And cars were being pushed through crowds and everything. It was wild.
It wasn't even 4 o'clock before they had a good chunk of those cars out of there. Like they were pushing them down the hallway at 4.
With the crowds leaving at the same time.
Yep. No, well, you'll hear it on the next episode. But halfway through the show, we're like, it's fucking cold in here.
Yeah.
It's because they had shut the heat off. It's like, tell everybody to get the hell out.
I don't care where you go, but it's not going to be here. It's like
we're not eating this anymore.
It's like my grandpa starting to shut off lights when they're playing cards at his house.
Yep. Sorry, guys, you're out.
It's time for you to go home now. Like, it's been great, and I've enjoyed this. But get the fuck out of here.
Yep. It's my bedtime. You're out.
So, I think I dare say that E36 was my favorite car of the show. I'll say it, Robbie.
Yeah. To me, it's always the IMSA cars. I don't I'm always fascinated by them.
Yeah.
And like we've said it before, and I'll say it literally every year, that any car that comes off the 25 hours of Thunderhill and goes straight to the booth without getting a bath, go straight to the front of the line.
So there was a 488 there this year.
Yep. From the Picellos.
You and I were looking at this thing, and like, you almost would have thought it was fake.
It's so perfectly imperfect how there's just rubber.
There's so
streaks.
much.
The rubber streaks everywhere.
Well,
on it.
So this year was a pretty wet year.
Yep.
And so I wonder if that plays into the streak.
Probably.
The streakiness of the whole thing. There's so much OPR on that car, though.
That car is filthy.
I can't imagine cleaning it.
You'd have to polish it off.
Well, but like a bunch of it's over vinyls.
You can clean that off. Like there's chemicals or stuff they make for that.
That isn't going to ruin the sticker underneath it?
Yeah. I mean, to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff you could do to polish them up, but still.
You're not going to hit it with a buffer?
No. And maybe it's just it's worse because it's vinyl.
Get some of that goo gone.
Is it vinyl? It's Ferrari.
No, it's painted, but the sponsors are still stickers.
Oh, yeah, the stickers for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Better off just replacing it.
Those stickers, a lot of that stuff was on the stickers, too.
Yeah.
So, you just strip the car to bare paint and start over?
Replace stickers. Probably, I would.
Must.
I mean, if you really gave a crap. I mean, you'd obviously start the season that way, but maybe you don't care between races.
I mean, I suppose that was probably the last race of the year, so it probably gets stripped down.
It'll have a new livery or whatever next year. I mean, it's not like NASCAR that has to have a perfect car to start every race.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, the 488 jumped to the front of the line for me, and then the Flying Lizard. What was that?
That's a McLaren.
I was about to say R8. And I knew that was wrong.
Toyo booth.
Yep. The Flying Lizard McLaren's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a super cool car.
But yeah, to me that's like the perfect style of sports car. I know you disagree, but that's
no. I totally am with you. I love McLarens. Like if I was supercar rich, McLaren would probably be the first thing I'd go and buy.
Yes,
and I guess maybe the reason that I like the unlimited class time attack cars over some of the IMSA race cars is that they're relatable cars.
No, for sure.
It's
not obtainable. Like it's a goal.
I mean, it's kind of a stretch with like that BMW. It was bought and built. It's purpose built from the get go. But like over in the Hawk booth, there was Pro Awesome's Evo.
Yep.
And that car started out as a street class car that they daily drove, and it's over years has morphed into the monstrosity that it is now. And like that's more interesting to me because there's more of a story that I can relate to, and aspire to, and so that's what attracts me more to like these wild time attack cars over seeing these equally wild and impressive factory
cars.
race cars.
No, I totally get it, and let's focus on the Pro Awesome Evo for a bit because that car
looks so good this year.
That livery is perfect. It's the right amount of attention grabbing. It's got some red, some grays on a silver base. It looks like it's so good, and like I really love the fact that it's air quote a budget build, if you will.
Yeah, like you can tell. Like the
splitter
and the diffuser, the splitter's made out of
birch
plywood. Like you can see,
just like mine.
It's just plywood that's been painted flat black, and the diffuser in the back is still Alumilite panels. Like you can see the corrugation between it. It's not this unobtainium carbon fiber monstrosity, and it was the second fastest car at Grid Life this year,
and it got the import engine best of show trophy, which is super cool. Yeah, that a Time Attack car got that.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a cheap car. There's a ton of money in that car.
Absolutely, but it's not spent wastefully.
I would bet that there's probably less money in it than most of the other unlimited Time Attack cars that we're so familiar with.
Oh, I guarantee
even
that.
At Grid Life events.
Guarantee it. And Pro Awesome has a really cool website for those that are
I love those guys. They're super cool. We should
talk to them more.
We should get involved with the stuff they do more because they're super cool guys and they seem real nice.
Devin, I stalk him on Instagram like daily.
Yeah,
and he likes some of my stuff, and I always feel like I've done something with my life. Devin liked my picture.
Look at me.
Yeah, but they have the DIY Aero article.
Yeah,
that's so helpful. Like
dude, it was so good.
It didn't go into the weeds. It just kind of explained things, why it works the way it does, why their diffuser works, why their splitter diffuser works, how any of the Aero works, or like the fender vents. They sell stuff. Shit, if you had questions, you could call them up. They get their numbers on their website. It's great.
They have some YouTube videos that they go a little bit more in depth into how each of their individual components that they sell work.
Yep,
they're super good. I love them.
Yeah,
and they're all way reasonably priced.
Absolutely,
as compared to anybody else.
No, don't go anywhere else.
So, I love it.
Yeah, so not an advertisement for Pro Awesome.
They're not paying us for it. No, but I support everything they do because it's such a cool thing.
Absolutely.
And their car just looks so much better. Like it looks more like a top level Time Attack car.
What was it last year? Like the livery?
It's just black.
Okay, I'm picturing.
It's been that way for years.
Just like a gloss black.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when
Tom Gorman drove it last year.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I was like, wasn't that the flat black? And I'm thinking mechanical advantage.
Mechanical advantage. That's Subaru.
Which is that's a Subaru. And for some reason, I kept putting those two cars as the same car.
They're very similar in livery.
They were, yes.
Yeah, they were.
Yep. So that's where I got confused looking at going, that's not the... Wait, hold on.
So wrong car. So the Pro Awesome car was there the first year we were there.
Yep.
At Midwest Festival. And then I don't think we've seen it again until this year.
Yes, that sounds right.
So...
But anyways, keep an eye out for that car this year.
Yeah.
At Grid Life, I assume.
I hope so. Oh, I hope to see it at SLB too.
That's in February?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just hope to see everybody at SLB.
For those that are new to the jargon, it's Super Lap Battle.
Super Lap
It is
Battle.
the number 2 Time Attack event series because Grid Life is number 1. Huh? Sorry, Adam.
I was going to say WTAC is number 1. World Time Attack Championship is still the end-all, be-all Time Attack.
And that's the one in Australia?
It's the one in Australia.
Yeah. So this would be the to be the be-all, end-all of America.
Right. So they're 10 years in. So, it's not real fair. But this is the second year of Super Lap Battle at COTA. And, the ultimate long-term goal is for it to be an international scale event, just like World Time Attack is, except here in America.
Makes sense.
So it certainly has the facility.
Yeah, I think they picked the right place to do it, and they have the right idea behind it.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely going to happen.
I'm excited to go again this year. So.
Yeah, we'll see if I can make that work. I don't know. You have your full car already, so I'd just be figuring it out. But maybe I won't go. But I'd like to.
We'll get you there next year.
I could
for sure.
We'll figure it out. I'll just show up.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'll just hop in a car and drive.
That's be great.
What would be better than a 12-hour drive by myself?
Just take Jess.
I would get so many podcasts to listen to.
Just take Jess.
She's busy. She's got college.
She's a college girl.
Yeah, she's got stuff to do. I need things to do. God, I got so much shit to do. I got so much shit to do.
Yeah, but by February, you'll be like, I don't know what to do with my life. You'll end up buying a third car.
Don't put that on me. Put that on me. I want that. That's the dream.
Yeah, okay.
That's the dream. Yeah, actually, by February, I'd hope to have most of my shit done.
Yeah, I mean, the way you work.
Actually, I should get a lot done in the next 2 weeks of my Christmas break.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll be busy. So yeah, that's our PRI wrap up. Stick around next week because there's a show that also was at PRI.
Yeah, look at us doing
planning ahead
on
planning
location.
Ahead.
We haven't done that in a long time.
Okay, so we're ways into this show. So
yeah,
we should probably do
burn
the news
through this real quick.
All right. This news segment is going to be brought to you by Apex Pro. We talked to Andrew quite a bit last week about some of the new stuff they're doing and stuff he's been up to.
10 exclusives.
He did.
For 2020.
So it's pretty exciting stuff. I need to get a hold of this OBD2 interface. I want to know what that's like.
Yeah.
I want a little bit more data.
Yeah, I think that...
people have complained about not having the predictive lap time.
That was the number one complaint I get from people who don't have solos or
that have solos.
Even people who are trying to decide, do I want to buy a solo or an Apex?
Right. Yep. So I think that, granted, right now you have two different things, but yeah, if you have an iPhone or whatever,
yep,
it's easy to just knock that out. And the interface alone is only $150, I think.
Right
in that ballpark. So it's not an expensive undertaking. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, ApexTrackCoach.com. Use the code 10tenths for your free window mount.
Bam.
All right. News.
News was kind of weird this week.
It's always weird.
It's true.
All
sometimes it's like knock out of the park, like I'm real excited about it, and sometimes I'm like, let's just not do the news this week.
News is depressing.
And there's just not that much interesting to talk about.
No.
Sometimes.
So speaking of that, we're prefacing our news with that.
Yeah.
Cadillac's 2021 is going to have a 38-inch panel OLED screen for your speedometer, radio, all that other
basically
crap.
Everything is one screen that just reaches all the way across the dash.
Yep. So it's basically where all the speedometer and all that stuff is, all the way over to where your radio is, above your vents. So your vents will be below your radio now.
Right.
And I assume the knobs and stuff for your AC, that's now incorporated into your touchscreen.
No knobs,
No
Robbie.
knobs?
No knobs. I all but guarantee that there will be no knobs, buttons, or switches in this vehicle.
Fuck you, Cadillac. I like my knobs.
Yeah. Well, that's the way Teslas are. They don't have any of that stuff.
Now it's just a penis measuring contest because Tesla has a 17-inch screen.
Yep.
And
That's
now
exactly
Cadillac has a 38-inch
But dude, if
screen.
you don't think that people go out and buy Teslas because they have giant screens in the dash, you're fucking wrong.
I will give Cadillac one thing. Thank God they didn't make two giant squares. It's actually a curved.
So that's my thing. It literally looks like Tesla put a giant iPad in the middle of the dash and didn't
even think about it. They just slapped it in there.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. It doesn't match the shape of the rest of the car. It just doesn't. It's obtrusive.
Out. Yes.
And it's curved. It's elegant. It fits. It makes sense. And I'm sure it's wildly expensive.
Can you imagine?
But it's cool.
What that's going to cost to replace when it fails?
It's so cool, though, Rob.
Granted, it is OLED, which is a little better. It's not like plasma or something stupid, but
yeah, that wouldn't work.
No,
plasmas are hot. That would not work in a car environment.
No, it would not. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of all the everything being electronics.
Still really, really dislike it. But I think at the end of the day, where I think I don't care what they do in a Cadillac.
I'm not buying it.
Well, even if it was this is. Cadillacs are, they're luxury cars. They're supposed to be opulent and over the top and ridiculous and an exercise in showing what we as a company are capable of building. And then your entry-level cars are just supposed to have knobs and buttons and switches. And as long as they keep doing that, I don't give a shit what they do with those Cadillacs.
It's not
and
a
even if
car.
I could afford it and I did buy it, I don't care what they do with it. Just don't do it to everything.
Let me have the option to not have that.
Right. In something cheaper.
Right.
So I still want to see it. I think that I will hate it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I kind of want to see one in real life.
I'm really not a big fan of it because like Jess's granted is the Edge is not one big screen; it's multiple screens.
Right.
But it's still, I don't like it. And then
I remember like
so much so much software. Ford really dropped the ball. They had Microsoft do it. It has
so bad.
It has the worst glitches of any car I've ever driven.
Yeah, I've heard that being terrible.
I'm assuming I'm not the only one. And I'm assuming it's just going to get worse. So, if anyone wants to buy an Edge,
that's a real good way to.
You could get that one away from me.
That's a real good way to sell a car, Robbie.
It'll come with an extra set of wheels
that are way more affordable.
Yeah, the 18 or are they 18s or 19s? 19s. The 19s are way more affordable than the 22s.
That's crazy to me because a 19-inch tire is still wildly too much money to me.
No, it's on par with everything else.
Like a 17?
Yeah.
Really?
But then again, I also bought, used Blizzaks for like pennies on the dollar.
Okay.
They were like 9.30 seconds, and they wanted half price.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. Duh.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, back to this 38-inch penis measuring contest.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh yeah, well mine's 39,
but it'll sell
like hotcakes. But then again, who buys this? Old rich white guys.
Yeah,
and they don't like change.
Dude, my dad would not buy this just because of that.
No,
like if my dad was in the market for a vehicle of that cost,
yeah. The massive screen,
the lack of switches and buttons and levers and knobs and stuff, it's going to put him off of it. It's it. That's his number one complaint about the old Lincoln they have is that it's just a flat dash with capacitive touch buttons. And he wants to be able to turn a knob or slide up and down a slider or something like that to change his temperature and his fan speeds stuff, which I couldn't agree more with. But yeah, that's
No, yeah. To me, it's just too far. But I think again, I don't know. I'm weird, I guess.
Yeah,
we're weird, I guess.
We're not very good at being millennials.
No, they're the worst. We're the worst. I don't know.
So, what's next?
Oh wait,
let's not talk about Cadillac things.
Let's talk about something better.
Is it though?
Like Audi. So
it's not so much about Audi as it is about bad parenting.
Sure. So what happened was a couple went into an Audi dealer in China and they wanted to purchase a brand new Audi.
As you do.
Because you don't want to use the Audi.
It's probably a long wheelbase because for some reason that's a thing over there.
Yeah,
they get
that's
long
all
wheelbase.
they sell.
Everything's there.
Yep. But while they're in the heat of the moment of picking out and purchasing or potentially purchasing this brand new Audi, their small child decided to scribble with a rock on a bunch of cars.
10
cars with brand new little murals from this small child.
Thousands of dollars in paint damages.
They wanted, what, $23,000?
Something like that, yeah.
To get them fixed? Because they can't sell them as new anymore. They're fixed.
Yeah.
0-mile cars with new paint jobs.
Yeah. To me, do they really need to, disclose that?
What? Yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah. You have to, especially a brand new car, you have to disclose that it's been fixed.
But it just got, some scratches fixed.
Which is why, again, if I'm buying a new car and they're like, yeah, you got a new paint job, that's not really going to make a big deal to me. But if they're telling me, yeah, it's got a new engine.
Well, yeah. Okay,
so this has a problem.
But I don't care if you repainted a door.
But the problem is, if someone's buying a new car, they do care. They do want to be brand new. They don't want it to have an extra layer of paint. They don't want it to have a history.
But if I never
told
you, you wouldn't know.
My RAV4 had a different paint. They fixed the door and didn't tell us. It was a different color. You could see it in the sun.
I suppose.
You got to remember, 99% is not 100% on your brand new car.
I guess.
If I'm spending Audi money for a brand new Audi,
I'd be willing to bet you that an overwhelming majority of the population would never have noticed that the RAV was a different color on a door.
Actually, it was really bad.
Was it?
Oh God, yeah, it was terrible. Wow. But yeah, unless you have like a tri-coat or like a really weird paint, you probably will match, and it'll probably be fine, and no one will know.
Right.
But you can't sell it as a new car because it's not. That's a liability.
I would argue that it's still a new car, but okay.
And I would agree with you. It's a little asterisk they have to disclose.
Like, I totally understand, like, if this thing showed up at the dealership and they did its post-delivery inspection and they took it on their little 5-mile jaunt and it started knocking and they put a motor in it. Yeah, okay, fine. You probably... I don't even know necessarily that that's a big deal.
It shouldn't be, because it should be a brand new engine, and everything should be like, brand new and fine.
There is some level of,
but when you take something apart and put it back together off the manufacturing floor, it's not the same. A fixed car is not the same as the new car. As a guy with a mechanic's degree, I can tell you, and an engineering degree, I can tell you with absolute certainty, the new car and the fixed car are not the same car.
Yeah, I suppose. Because I suppose the mechanic's probably not going to put the motor in the way it was put in from the factory.
No, because the way it was put in from the factory is you got the car and you just kind of everything falls together and then you build around it.
Right. Now he's got to work around all this shit.
You pull shit out and put it back together, and you bend stuff that wasn't meant to be bent,
right?
That normally isn't bent,
right?
So it's fine. It really is. Getting your car fixed is fine.
Yeah,
it's not a new car, and that's where it's a little gray area.
I guess
it's a 0-mile, not new car.
I guess.
But anyways, so this child scratched these vehicles. And they went after him. They were like, "You're going to pay us 20 some odd, maybe $30,000."
Yeah.
And they went to court and they settled for like $10,000 to get these cars repainted.
Nothing.
But why wouldn't you just? Don't you have insurance for this as a dealer?
Well, first of all, it's in China. I don't know how it works over there.
We'll just argue for the sake of argument.
But like, let's say this is in America and we understand the system a little better.
A little bit, yeah. I
still think. Because if it happened overnight, and I have no idea who did it or why,
yep.
I see shadowy figures running around on my cheap security cameras that I bought from my nephew.
Yep.
Then okay,
it's out of your control.
Just turn it into your insurance company. Like, it sucks. Your premium might go up a little bit. You've got a claim now, but like, right. If I could pin it on somebody and not turn it into my insurance, you bet your ass I'm gonna.
Yeah. To
protect, because you know you
can't. Yeah, I was gonna say, you file a claim.
If I file a claim, like I bet you a dealership files 10 claims a year at least on random bullshit.
Like the hails.
Yeah,
I mean weather, all that shit.
But at the end of the day, I still don't want to file it if I don't have to, and I would rather go through a lawsuit than an insurance claim.
Yeah, the dealer's probably going to be better off with the lawsuit 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So this sucks for the parents, but at the same time, I mean, that kid ran by itself for a while.
Well,
I understand. One car.
I brought my kid to Mecum. And
he didn't scratch no cars.
Yeah, and every time we walked up to a car, now is when you need to teach him this stuff. Logan, this is not your car. This is not Dad's car. You cannot touch it.
We look with our eyes.
Yeah, and he gets it. Yeah. He totally understands that already, and like, that's just public. That's just decency.
Common courtesy.
Yeah, it's just being a decent human being.
It's car show etiquette.
Your child.
Yes.
It's not even car show etiquette, because in this situation, they're just at a dealership.
Yeah, it's just etiquette.
It's just not raising a little punk.
Goddamn kids. Kids these days.
Robbie. Some people's children.
Yeah.
The more the longer I have a child, the more that phrase becomes an insult on more levels than one to both the parent and the child. It's probably one of the greatest phrases of all time.
Yes, it's effective.
Some people's children.
Yes.
Who are you talking shit the most to?
Yes.
The parent
Everybody
or the child?
Involved. Everyone involved.
So good.
It's just failure
so
across
good.
the board. Because people ain't no good.
These are facts.
But the long and the short of this story is an umbrella policy is worth it every time. Because that would have covered this.
Mine was free.
I don't know what ours is. It ain't free. But it's worth it.
Mine was $1 million, and I don't think it was anything. If it was anything extra, it wasn't remarkable.
No, it's all bundled into the homeowners insurance and all that stuff.
Yeah,
everything's bundled.
Yeah, because I just use I have an insurance company.
Yes, and it's not even in this town. I just call them, and it's like, hey, I need this.
Oh no, I just
all taken care of.
I still refuse to deal with an insurance person that I can't walk into their office and sit down in front of their desk and have a chit chat with them.
No, yeah, I could. I mean, it's a jaunt. I could do it, but
no, mine's in Nevada.
Oh, nice.
I just recently moved from the one in Ames to the one in Nevada, and the one in Ames took it like personally. And I was like, I don't live in Ames anymore. You guys are. It was clear up there in Somerset on the north end of town, like. There's literally nothing on that end of town I have any desire to be at.
Yep.
You guys are out of my way. Like I'm not. It's got nothing to do with you. I just don't. I drive by the one in Nevada 3 times a week.
Yeah,
It's got nothing to do with you.
No. No, I mean, I'm all about customer service. So if I can send you an email that says I bought this car, here's the VIN, put it on.
I just call them
send
like,
me the
hey,
bill.
it's Adam. They're like, oh, what's up, man? It's
Yep.
great. I love
Yep.
it. Small towns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's not this small town, but it's a small town. So, anyways, yeah, umbrella policies. When your kid does something stupid.
Yeah.
Or when your dog does something stupid.
Or just,
Or when life is stupid because
Don't-
it's fucking life and it's something
don't
stupid.
raise a douchebag.
Yes, but the problem is
It's hard. Trust me, no one understands it more than I do. It's not easy, Robbie. But it can be done.
yeah, I get it. Mistakes are made though, and
It's
that's
a
why we have
Fucking
insurance.
full-time job, but it can be done.
It can be done.
So,
Anyways, moving on to something super cool across the board for
Robbie,
everyone.
Robbie, I knew that when you saw this, you would be like, eye roll. Like, I could feel you eye roll from where I was, where
Good.
you were. And I just want you to know
We're on the
that
same
my
page.
eye roll was probably harder.
Probably.
So, Porsche, I don't know quite how this works. I don't know if Porsche is paying Disney or if Disney is paying Porsche, but somehow Porsche and Star Wars are teamed up.
So,
Which to me makes zero fucking
if
sense.
I read it correctly,
Okay.
Lucasfilms, which is Disney, paid Porsche for 2 months worth of work to design a Porsche-inspired spaceship,
Right.
which looks like all the other Star Wars spaceships.
Well, okay, so then they're like, oh, I can see 911, and I can see 918, and I can see Cayman GT4. I'm like, I don't
see any of that.
Any of it. I see some Taycan turbo in this thing. No, you don't.
No.
You see a motherfucking spaceship that really doesn't look that cool.
If anything, I kind of see the Aston Martin RB. I kind of see that in the,
okay,
in the front.
yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, I see it. I'm
Right-
with you,
right in
Rob.
that- right in that
I
area.
don't see anything Porsche like.
There's other-
If they would have put like the headlight, the iconic like the quad headlight thing that they're doing right now,
yeah,
like if they'd have put that on the front of like the engine pod things on the wings,
sure.
I could have jived with that, right? I could have been like, yeah, I see the Porsche part of it there.
Yep.
And that's cool. And then like I put I don't know, a ducktail on the back or something. I don't know, but like I don't see it, man.
No. Porsche just like, you're going to pay us for 2 months worth of work to.
And
So, yeah, well, of course we'll do it.
I love Star Wars. It was a huge, significant part of my childhood.
Correct.
The movies, the books, the comics, the lore, the whole thing. We've talked about it many times on this show. I'm a fucking nerd. It is what it is. But like I don't like this.
This seems like
If that thing would have shown up in next week's episode of The Mandalorian and it was just a ship that the bad guy was driving, I'd have been like, oh, cool, look at that. And I wouldn't have thought anything more of it. Like,
no.
But they don't have to do it this way.
No, it seems like
they're just watering the bullshit down. They're just adding to all the things I don't like about what the Star Wars franchise has become.
And any designer from Pixar, but like Lucasfilms or whoever the hell they get to do their CGI stuff, can come up with this exact same thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't even exist.
If I was Porsche, I wouldn't have done it.
No, it's a waste of time.
Because
Porsche the check had to be big enough to make it matter, and that's
the thing
really
is,
where it
like,
came from.
Porsche of all brands, I thought would have
told them to stick it.
Would have held their head higher than this on like watering down who they are.
Yeah.
Because they've really stuck to their guns on like, we're Porsche and this is what we're about, and like, we know the rear engine is a bad place, but we're gonna make it work anyway. Like, they've been doing it for 60 fucking years, and we're not gonna stop today.
That's right.
Like, that's what Porsche, and that's why it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's niche-y and quirky, and it is what it is.
This is just stupid.
It's just
don't do it.
Cash grab.
I don't care what it's tied to. It doesn't need to be done.
No, if
things like the GT car, the Gran Turismo, what do they call that fucking prototype series?
The Vision,
Vision Gran
GT
Turismo.
Vision. Yep,
that's cool. I'm all about it. That was a really cool crossover partnership program where car manufacturers made concept cars and then gave them bullshit specs and the things that could never be attainable, and then Gran Turismo made them in the video game.
Yeah, somewhat. But again, to me,
and that was cool.
I need one to exist. I need one. I need the concept. Like I love the idea.
Some of those they made as a concept car, and
that's where I love it.
And I think it's that was like, to me, that is one of. It's not a very. It's certainly not a household name project, even by car guy or gamer standards, but like. To me, that's one of the best crossover marketing things that I'm aware of with automotive brands and something that isn't inherently automotive. And, like, I feel like that did everybody good.
Yeah.
The both companies that were involved in it and us. Everybody got something out of it.
For sure.
Nobody gets anything out of this except Porsche got a sweet check.
Yeah. If they really wanted to do something cool, go to Lockheed Martin, have them build you a Starship, and then have them make you a scaled version of it.
Right, like
works.
Make video, or make a movie zone running through a wind tunnel.
Make it a 1/8 scale,
shit like that,
and prove that like
it'd be cool.
Do the CFD, do all the engineering behind it, and show like. We could make this. It'll cost us $1.5 billion, but we could make it.
If it's going to be a Porsche, like making a pod racer or something like that,
right?
Like not a fucking spaceship.
No. I mean, I look at that going, Lockheed Martin could give you one that works.
That would be sweet, dude.
If
I could watch this video like about it, and they were like drawing it up on their computers, and then they're like running scale models of it through a wind tunnel, and that would be rad. I'd be super into that.
Yes. Have an actual aerospace company design you a Star Wars spaceship and show the engineering as to how they would make it actually function.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
The nerdy engineer guys would love it. I would enjoy it. The Star Wars guys would get into it, showing like this is a reality.
I could support that way more than this.
This is just as it's gimmicky, and that's where I lose it. Like, even if it's gimmicky and just they don't actually make the spaceship, but they show that it's possible. I get somewhat on board with it.
Yeah, I am disappointed in Porsche and Lucasfilms for doing this.
Now maybe Porsche will make one that works, and I'll eat crow then. But until that day comes,
just start on fire and crash in the rain. Let's shut this shit down,
Yeah.
Robbie. It's been a long night already.
We did. This might be one of our longest episodes.
Whoops. Michael, I think Michael did more to rein us in than we thought.
Yeah, probably. I think. Where was I going with that? Anyways, next week is Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yep.
We have new shirts in the store. If you want to check those out, we got a couple sold already. There's a new mug, which would have made the perfect Christmas gift had I been on top of my game and put it out a couple weeks earlier. It's not too late. You could definitely get it. Anyways,
That's
if you want to order some stuff, that we appreciate it. We will be off next. Well, we will be off next week, but there will be a show.
There is a show.
That's why I have no problem with this being long because next week will be short.
A little short.
But, guys, everyone will have something for Christmas. But anyways, that's all I got.
Then we go into the New Year's season, which means we get to talk about cars that are dying, cars that are coming, and predictions. Sarah's favorite things. Cars that are coming, Robbie.
See you guys next week.